unto me those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. 12 tribes, Israel, sons of Jacob, hitting them hard like this. When the saints go marching into Armageddon, countless amounts of blood to be shed. 200 million angels, 144,000 children, rolling, stomping, going Lord, bringing swords into slavery. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts, sword, no babies. Either you roll the dead rock, or where the bomb goes. Well, it's the fall of Babylon, so the troops can get to travel on to the land mass that was promised. First displaced, we gotta get demolished. 144, getting polished, swinging swords to abolish all the chaos, mayhem, confusion, plus the fury. Judgment without the jury produces profit, produces history, produces this is when you're taking over the spot. They get shot down like fools from off the block, from running up on your block, but not ready to receive the mark of the knowledge, getting dotted up with rockets, the spiritual powers given the prophets, headed up by the Savior. Getting ready to enslave you. When the saints go marching into Armageddon, countless amounts of blood to be shed. 200 million angels, 144,000 chosen, rolling, stomping, run Lord. Bringing souls into slavery. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts, or no babies. Either you roll them dead right, or when the bomb goes. Flying chariots, clouds by day and sparks by night. Devastating whole realms in mid-flight. But I seen the skies crack, the world surprised that, denied that. The angels of Christ will fly that, but it's special. Dressed in white, drenched in blood. Call for the thugs and the dead rise from mud. They rise up, blaze up, and it's time to blaze up. All y'all that refuse to change your ways up ain't giving a word. Blind, crippled, or crazy. Men or boys, old women, old babies smashed. Then what's left from the blast of a megaton warhead is hot ash. Nuclear winter and Y2K. All America scores and all that say y'all niggas is crazy. Talking that Bible when the bomb drops. All I tell you what, when the saints go marching into Armageddon, countless amounts of blood that we shed. 200 million angels, 144,000 chosen, rolling, stomping, one Lord, bringing souls into slavery. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts, or no babies. If you roll the dead rock, all when the bomb goes. When my mind stays so destroyed, these defensive lines act like Greg Lloyd. Losers claim my brain is on steroids. Can't avoid this lyrical asteroid from busting. Do a concussion, I beat you down like concussion. End of discussion, there's no touching the anointed. Bird double jointed, got my score pointed. At your dome, my mind's chrome with black shots like guns called Tommies. With sound waves hitting like tsunamis. Lure apartments where you find me, shout this word. Superb, rest assured that it's righteous. You can't fight this, you might just get overwhelmed from my spiritual virus. While you're sitting on your ass, we out exterminating violence. Test me, I got 12 mouths to feed on this noble journey. Defenders of the law, like an attorney. Strange doctors don't concern me, try to lynch and burn me, oppress me. And the testes, I swear your face like Gillespie. Or you can get the blade like Wesley. Now every chick wanna be sexy. Hell with that, go on the blaze like James and Jesse. Nowadays, the Holy Spirit's having sex like epilepsy. But that's not true. Read Isaiah 11 and verse 2. Time for Israel for today to do as the rulers like we're supposed to. SOJ's here to put you on the right track and offer Esau's roller coaster. When the saints go marching into Armageddon, countless amounts of blood that we shed. Shalom, 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 Shabbat shalom to the saints of Yasha Allah. What's happening, y'all? It's your brother IQAhmath. I acquire first name. IQ is all the same. How's my family doing? How's the family doing? Are y'all all right? Let me know what's happening. Let me get rid of this banner real quick. Because we on. No more will be there shortly. All praises, all praises. Shalom to my sister Cynthia in the house. Jackson in the house. Diz the Wiz. Shalom to you, my sister. My brother Karatazar in the house. Shalom, shalom. Kohav, shalom. Shalak in the house. Shalom to you. Ashar in the house. All praises, man. The fam is here. Anybody else? They must still be, hung over from last night. What's going on? Let me find out.
All praises, man. We had a blessed feast of Nicanor last night, and we'll be celebrating Purim this evening, going into tomorrow as well. If you're keeping those days in the same calendar year as we are, blessings to you. And I pray that everybody has and enjoys themselves. Enjoys themselves. Monumental times, monumental days, man. We're talking about the real uprisings and the rebellions of Israel rising up against our enemies, man. Be it the Persians, be it the Greeks, all the heathens, man, that was coming up against us, man, trying to exterminate our people. You have brave men and women that stood up for the laws and the commandments, that stood up for the heritage of our people. And and the hand of the Lord delivered us in the times of despair. We got to reflect on those things just like we are right now, man. We're in dire straits here, trapped in Babylon and throughout the four corners of the earth, subject to our enemies and our oppressors, man. Really, no way out, no real light. Like the elder was saying last night, man, there is no other option but to look up and pray that the Most High, has mercy on us and delivers us from this captivity and from the wiles of the devil, man, that's out there, man. There's not going to be a vote, no money, no, weapon that can be formed that's going to deliver us, man, and get us out of this particular captivity. We got to do it. We got to do it. You dig what I'm saying? So that's what it is. All praises, man. Koath, my pleasure, my brother. And for anyone else who has not yet or is in need of the Passover list, be sure to go on the community post. There is a PDF download. Click on the link, download it, save it, use it for the future. As more knowledge and information comes to us, we'll be adding on to that list. But as of right now, that's a thorough list that all must be aware of when you're removing leavening from your homes. Again, it's not as simple as just saying, oh, just yeast and bread and crackers we got to get rid of. No, the list goes much more detailed. Our enemies know and understand what it is to be defiled in the sight of the Lord. Um, let's get that real quick in Judith, the fifth chapter. Let's get that Judith, the fifth chapter, man, so we can see and understand the craftiness, man, of our enemies. Craftiness. All right. So again, if y'all haven't downloaded that list, make sure you go do that. Make sure you go do that, man. Due diligence is necessary. Um, and let's get that as well. Hold on. Precepts is popping in my head as we're speaking. Precepts is popping in my head. If you haven't wiped your feet yet, man, get out. Get out the house. Go outside. Wipe your feet off, man. Come back up in here, man. Show some respect, man. Don't come in here traveling with your dirt and your mud and your broke down heels and all that other stuff. No, 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 no. Do your brother a solid, man. Go ahead on and hit that like button. The algorithm will exactly do what it's supposed to do. Share this video out there for those who need to be alerted that we're live. Those that need to be alerted to get some more information regarding prophecy, judgment, the scriptures, the law, the commandments, current events, all of the above. You will do your job by spreading the gospel, by hitting the like button. Simple as that. Simple as that, man. Wiping your feet. All right. Uh, Let me go ahead on and share my screen real quick so we can talk about that list very briefly, and then we'll get to the meat and potatoes. The meat and potatoes. You feel me? All right, so let's look here. Proverbs 25 and 2. It says, "It is the glory of the Most High to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter." So not only is that, in regards to the scriptures, us developing our understandings, building a broader range of understanding when it comes down to the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding and the discernment of the scriptures, but also learning how to keep the laws in a more perfect fashion. And when we're talking about the Passover, it's a high holy day, one of the most important in the convocations of Israel. Let alone the weekly Sabbath being known as the highest of the holy days, but the Passover is right there with it, right? And we're commanded to remove leaven all out of our homes, coasts. We're not supposed to even partake in it. When you read Deuteronomy uh, uh, 16, it says that the leaven is to be removed out of our coasts, meaning it's not supposed to be any leaven anywhere in our immediate surroundings, areas, or whatnot. So Israel, don't be out there packing up a grocery bag and packing up, a trash bag full of your leaven and putting it in your trunk of your car, rolling around with leaven all day, saying as long as it's not in my home, it's not. No, the scriptures say don't have it in your coast, meaning it's not supposed to be anywhere around us. We're supposed to be abstaining, period. Let's go there real quick. And we'll talk more about this as we, move closer towards the Passover preparation. But while we're on it right now, just in the spirit, we need to go ahead on and talk about it. So that's the way the Spirit's directing and guiding me. That's how we're going to handle it. Deuteronomy 16, we're going to read verse 1. Observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover unto Yahweh thy power. For in the month of Abib, Yahweh thy power brought thee forth out of Egypt by night. So Abib, that's going to be hitting um, this month on the 21st. 21st will be Abib. That's the new moon. That's the new year. That's when we will be keeping the first new moon, or the Hebrew quote unquote new year, the brew year, as we say in Israel. So that's our new year, not January 1st. We all know that. All right. So the Most High said that we're supposed to observe it. We're supposed to keep the Passover. Okay. Thou shalt therefore sacrifice the Passover to Yahweh thy power of the flock and the herd in the place which Yahweh shall choose to place his name there. Thou shalt eat no leavened bread with it. 7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread therewith, even the bread of affliction. So when you're taking part of the bread, you're to be reminded of the afflictions that our brothers and sisters went through, our ancestors went through during the times of Egypt. You're supposed to be reminded of the afflictions that Yahweh Shai went through. You know, when you're looking at the ordinances, it says not to eat any leavened bread with it. However, we are supposed to eat unleavened bread for 7 days. Okay, so you can do the easy route, which is go buy the Passover matzos or Passover crackers from the store, or if you got a baking hand, you can make your own unleavened bread. You know, flour, salt, water, maybe a little honey, a little cinnamon or something. Pat them out, throw them in the oven, and eat them that way. There's been a lot of good recipes, man. Some sisters done came up with. I've had some good unleavened bread, from unleavened bread pizzas to what is it? The bread, the cook. Sisters put raisins, all kind of stuff in. It comes out really good. Comes out really good if you do it yourself. Sometimes it's experimental. If you're not good with baking, you don't want to mess it up. Go ahead on and buy you some unleavened crackers. All right. But it says you got to eat that every day. So it's not just the first day. The Lord said, what? 7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread therewith. So that is customary, that's ceremonial for completion of 7 days where to eat unleavened bread. All right. So with your meals, you eat unleavened bread for 7 days during that time. For thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt in haste, that thou mayest remember the day when thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt all the days of thy life. And there shall be no leavened bread seen with thee in all thy coast. 7 days. So we're not to be caught with leaven, period. That's why I say you can't go hide it and go put it in the garage, or go tell your mama, hold on to it for me, I'll come back and get it later, because she ain't in the truth. Now you're imposing sin on her. And most I will, if she ever comes into the truth and she learns about the Passover, she's gonna be like, what, all that time you was giving me your leaven to hold, I would have been caught up in transgression and you were trying to hide it. You see what I'm saying? You get caught in a slippery slope doing that. So don't give it to your relatives, because who knows? They may come into the truth and realize that you was causing sin upon them by telling them, hold on to it. So purge it out. That's where Esau gets the understanding of spring cleaning. That means your homes should be cleaned out thoroughly, cars cleaned out thoroughly. You got kids, or you eating on the go, you a trucker, whatever the case may be, and you done dropped all kind of crumbs and who knows what in the car. Make sure you go to the car wash, Mac. Vacuum out that car. Make sure that you've done your due diligence and tried your best to remove and clean out any leaven that's going on in your homes, because it said it should not be seen with us in all thy coasts 7 days. So there is no storing away until the 7 days is over, and then come bring it back in the house later. To avoid wasting food and all of that, eat it up now. If you have the ability to be around some others, have a Passover party. Everybody brings their unleavened stuff. They're trying to get out the house, man. Cook it all up, feast to get rid of it. Do what you need to do. Also, your liquors, brothers that's sipping that yan and drinking. Almost all liquors are not kosher for Passover, with the exception of certain tequila brands. I believe Añejo, Anejo, is the only tequila that I'm aware of that is that's kosher. So your Hennessy, your Coors Light, nothing, all that's got to go. All that's got to go. All right, those are all leavened. Vinegars, those are leavened. You got to think about it. Why did they try to force Yahweh Shai to drink vinegar during his persecutions? That was during the Passover. Okay, even vinegar, that is a leavening that causes yeast spores uh, to produce. Those have to be gone. So your condiments, ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, barbecue sauce, all that stuff. Look at all your ingredients. Look at your hygiene products. All of those things. Remember, the Most High said it's the honor of a king to search out a matter. Okay. Neither shall there any. Read verse 4 again. And there shall be no leavened bread seen with thee in all thy coasts 7 days. Neither shall there anything of the flesh which thou sacrificed the first day at even remain all night until the morning. So your Passover sacrifice, the lamb, is not to be kept for leftovers. You can't be talking about, oh, that was good, man. I'm gonna save the rest for tomorrow. No. The Lord said that it is not to be left over. It should not remain all night until the morning. Whatever's remaining needs to be burnt up. Okay. So that's just light work in regards to the Passover. The reason why we have a list as such, it would such diligence. Let's look at this real quick. We've read this before. However, um, Judith, the 5th chapter, we'll read the 5th verse. This is an Ammonite, right? The captain of the host of the Ammonites, Achior, and he's reporting to Holofernes regarding the Assyrians and um, their quest to try to conquer the children of Israel. Achior, the Ammonite, he's giving intel in regards to the history of Israel, the Israelites, our customs, um, what and how we can be defeated if they follow instructions. Okay. So let's read verse 1 and we'll drop down verse 5. Then it was declared to Holofernes, the chief captain of the army of Ashur, that the children of Israel had prepared for war and had shut up the passages of the hill country and had fortified all the tops of the high hills and had laid impediments in the champaign countries. Verse 5. Then said Achior, the captain of all the sons of Ammon, let my lord now hear a word from the mouth of thy servant, and I will declare unto thee the truth concerning this people which dwelleth near thee, and inhabiteth the hill countries, and there shall no lie come out of the mouth of thy servant. So Achior, the Ammonite, he's saying, listen to me, I'm going to tell you about these people. There's not going to be no lie that comes out of my mouth when it comes down to these people, right? So here they talk, he's giving us all the history. This is how you know, man, the heathen know about our history. You always wonder why, we wonder why, man. How in the hell does the damn Chinese and the Japanese, Koreans, come over here fresh off the fish boat, man, and know exactly how to cater to the needs and the wants and the desires of the so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans? How did they come over here and they know what we like when it comes down to the fried chicken, to the hair, to the nails, to the hygiene products? You go to these beauty supply places, man, 90% of them is owned by the damn heathen. But they know you like stay soft roll and all of the hair, what do you call it, relaxers, and the wigs, and for sisters, you know what I'm saying. The brothers like to have their little S curl kits, and I'm dating myself. There's some brothers rocking them S curls and Jerry curls and all that back in the day. But even now, when it comes down to the wave kits, the wave pomades, and They know all of that stuff, man. You go to the swap meets and the flea markets, they right there, knowing exactly what clothes you want to wear. They playing the music. They selling the gold. Knowing Jake's like all of that stuff, man. How do they know that? Because they've always taken record and always documented and watched from abroad the patterns of our people. All right. So he's given all this history regarding, us leaving out of Canaan, going to Egypt, everything that happened, the plagues that hit Egypt, right? So he's speaking on all this. Now let's drop down here. Uh let's read verse here. Verse 19, we're gonna read verse 20 down to 21. It says, but now are they returned to their power and are come up from the places where they were scattered and have possessed Jerusalem where their sanctuary is and are seated in the hill country for it was desolate. So he's giving them an update. He gave them all the history. He said, but now they're returned back to their power again. They're serving the Most High again. So be careful. Reading verse 20 says, now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up and we shall overcome them. So this is why you see they say that if we can cause the children of Israel to be in error, we'll always have the opportunity to overcome them, take advantage of them, oppress them. They're going to be ruined. So you best believe these heathen know exactly what they're doing when it comes down to tampering with, the food and the drink that we consume, the garments that they make, you know, the entertainment that they push on us, the psychological warfare that they, impose on us, the influence. China owns TikTok. How much wickedness, how much foolishness is on TikTok? How much of a distraction is TikTok right now? Granted, I hear that, now Israelites are actually using TikTok to teach on. We go wherever the people is at, I guess. But the majority of what's going on TikTok is a bunch of folly and foolishness. You don't think the Chinese know? Hey, man, if we can get these damn Israelites to get encased in this digital AI, matrix, they're never going to think about returning to their power. So even when it comes down to keeping the holy days, it's our duty, man, to be as diligent as we can to make sure that we're not in error against the Most High, so that we can find ourselves in the favor and the grace of the Lord, because they know and they're sabotaging everything that they can to keep us in error with the Lord. Verse 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their power be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. So he said, man, if there's no iniquity in the children of Israel, man, we better keep it pushing. Leave them alone. There's no wins against them black Native Americans and Hispanics when they join together and they worship in their power in unison. He said that their Lord will defend them and be for them, and we will become part of the history that I just got through breaking down to you. Remember what I told you about how their Lord defended them in Egypt? Egypt is wiped out. Lord, we're gonna be like them if they're on point with serving their power. Okay. So he said, man, we better leave them alone if they serving their Lord. But if we can get them to be in error, oh, we got them. If we can keep getting them to believe that they Africans, if we can keep them believing that they Chicanos or whatever the case may be, if we can get them to keep following after the ways of America and the heathen, we can keep getting them to eat whatever we tell them is good to eat. They don't follow their dietary laws. If we can get them to go out there and have the sisters dressing immodest and wilding out on the streets, have the brothers out here feminized and demasculated, we got them. So far, they're doing a good job. So far, they're doing a good job. All right, so all praises, man. Hopefully, everybody got some understanding on that. Any questions before we begin on that topic? Any? Good question, my brother. Just the King. Shalom. No, just the first and the last day are Sabbaths. Let's get that real quick. First and the last day are Sabbaths and holy days. Uh, Exodus, 12th chapter. Let me drop down. And I thought it was 21, but it's not 21. Hold on. Okay, here you go. Exodus 12, we're going to read 14 down to 16. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to Yahweh throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. Forever. So, for those that say you can't keep the feast days in captivity, what? The Lord said you keep it forever as an ordinance. We are always supposed to be keeping this Passover. Okay. 7 days shall you eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the seventh day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. Verse 16. And in the first day there shall be an holy convocation. And in the seventh day there shall be a holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. So this is the only thing that we're supposed to be doing, is observing the Passover. The cooking is supposed to be done after the manner in which every man must eat. So there's components within the Passover. We're supposed to have unleavened bread, lamb, bitter herbs, wine or juice, grape juice. Okay. Those are the components. That's what must be eaten during the Passover. This is not a time that you're supposed to be frying chicken on the side and making mac and cheese and all this other. No, this is not that type of feast. This is the feast that have holy components, which all have symbolizations and understanding as to why we partake in those things. Everything is symbolic with the understanding behind it. It's not to be added on and saying, okay, you're gonna bring the greens, you're gonna bring the yams. Yeah, we're gonna have the lamb and unleavened bread. But I don't really like lamb like that, so I'm gonna make sure I got a roast chicken in it. No, you cannot do that. The Lord said that the only thing and the manner of work that should be done is that which every man must eat. So that's what we cook, that's what we eat. That's the only work that should be done, is while you're out there roasting and cooking your lamb. That's also another thing for those that are keeping the Passover for the first time. Your lamb must be roasted by fire, meaning it must be grilled or barbecued or rotisserie cooked by fire. It's not to be baked. You can't do fried lamb chops and all that. No, that's not how we eat the Passover. We'll read that in a second. Verse 16 again, it says, and in the first day there shall be an holy convocation, and in the seventh day there shall be a holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them. So the first day and the last day are Sabbaths, holy convocations. Those, no work, no buying and selling, so forth and so on. So make sure that you have your schedule set accordingly, that you have the following days off. If you work evenings, you need to have that evening of the Passover off and that next day, as well as the last day. You need to have that evening off and the next day. If you only work during the day, all praises. As long as you're done with work before that sun goes down, you're cool. But the following day, you need to have off. Those are holy convocations. All right. Let's rise up a little bit. Uh, verse 9. Okay, we'll read verse 8. It says, and they shall eat the flesh in it that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. So this is what every man must eat. Okay. Unleavened bread, bitter herbs, roast with fire. Verse 9, eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire his head with his legs and all the pertinence thereof. So, I know that many are of minimal, areas of congregating. The scriptures call for us to have a whole lamb to be roasted. If you don't have the ability to do that, because we know how that works, you may not have the opportunity to get it, the resources to get a whole lamb. Um, do it in the spirit as best you can. If you have to get a lamb chop or what have you, or the shoulder or the leg of lamb, that's okay. You have to keep it in the spirit as best as you can. and roasted. But if you have the ability, the scriptures say you get a lamb per house, invite people over, share it and eat it if you can congregate in that fashion. But it's to be roasted. All right. So don't sodden with water, no boiling it, no trying to tenderize it, figuring it out. No, no, no. Just roast it. Of course, you can season it. The scriptures say that the sacrifices need to be seasoned with salt to have a sweet savor to the Lord. The Most High don't like no bland stuff, and neither does Israel. So it's okay to season your lamb. As long as you got kosher seasonings, that's fine. But it needs to be roasted. It needs to be grilled. All right. Hey man, brother knows what time it is. Throw it on that grill. We all good. We all good. All right. All praises. All right. So hopefully everybody's good. Everybody's good. All right. So yeah, that's important. It's a feast day, man. It's gonna be a beautiful and glorious thing. Um, and it's important that we keep it as such. All right. Um, so yeah, uh, if you hadn't gotten, as my sister Rosemarie is acknowledging, if you haven't gotten your download for the Holy Feast Day calendar dates, also that is posted on the community post. All you got to do is go there, download it, get your feast days set in order for the year. That way, you ain't got to worry about it. That way, you ain't got to worry about it. You get your schedule done. You can let boss know, hey, boss, I need a day off. It's a high holy day. Can't work. I'm going to go serve the Lord. I'll serve you after I'm done. But the Lord comes first. All right. That's why we put the dates out early enough so that uh you can put the your feast days in order. All right. No, no. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. The Passover, I mean Abib is the 21st. Abib is the 21st. That's the new year. All right. So when we read in Deuteronomy 16, it says, observe the month of Abib, meaning to keep the observation of Abib, meaning the spring and the new year acknowledgement, were to do that. All right. So the 21st this month is Abib. And then from that Abib, that's how you count to your Passover. 14th day at even, which will take us to uh, April 4th. At sundown would be the Passover. All right. So the link for the dates are there. The Passover cleaning list is there. Right. Anything else pops up in your brain, your mind, and you got questions, reach out to us. Email us there, thecovenant144 at gmail.com, or on Instagram, Messengers of the Covenant. All right. Also, after the Sabbath or any other time, if it's in your heart to donate your alms to help the ministry, to help us do the work of the Lord, to help us stay on point with providing resources and things of that nature, you care to donate, the Cash App is $ IQAhmath for Messengers of the Covenant. All right. Um, all right, all praises, man. So without further ado, let's go ahead on and get to the business at hand, man. Hopefully everybody's ready to rock. Let me shut this little banner down. All right, so here we go. Let's blow this up a little bit, man. So your favorite heathen in minds, man, the dummy with the most power in the world, uh, is now going back on his word. Remember the video? I can't remember if I was able to post. I believe I was able to post it as a short um on YouTube, and I did it on Instagram, where the video shows Slow Biden talking about if America was to send planes, tanks, what do you say, planes and tanks and missiles and everything else to Ukraine, that's called World War III. Now, what's interesting with this is Biden. Hold on, another scripture just came to my mind. So this is another reason why we can show and prove that Esau is the white man, contrary to those who believe that he's the Arab. right? Just by this alone, look at this. Genesis 27 and verse 40. Now, this is the blessing of Esau. Let's read 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. So, like a crying, whining baby, the hairy Neanderthal, so called white man, who tricked off his blessing for some red pottage, is now begging and crying for a blessing from Isaac after Jacob had already received the greater blessing. So now he's going back whining, saying, Oh, I got tricked out of my blood. Don't you have one thing for me, Father, please? So Esau goes and whining to Isaac. What did Isaac tell him? And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. I'm gonna deal with that on another note. But that goes into Job 9:24, the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. Shout out to brother Uziel, man. He sent me a good video regarding America and the resources and the strategicness of how this place is the fatness of the earth and where the dew of the heaven comes. It's very, very interesting how the Most High put this place, and this is another way you can show and know how this is Babylon, so forth and so on. I'm gonna tackle that on another day. But Esau is to receive the fatness of the earth. He's supposed to get the best of the best. He's gonna have the inheritance of the earth itself. Job 9:24, the earth shall be given into the hand of the wicked. He's gonna go out and colonize and conquer and snatch up resources and get everything that he wants. Okay. Verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So, looking at this as cyclical in history, remember the so-called white man was not a relative power until Alexander the Freak, 333 BC, right? Prior to that, man, he was subservient to everybody else, man, teaming up with Moab and Ammon against Israel. You know, he had a brief stint being servants to David, but once he got dominion, he done ram shot on everybody now. He's made up for all lost time. He talking about over 2,300 years, man. This dude has been in possession of power, with the exception of 1,000 years during the Dark Ages. So let's say 1,350 years that he's had ultimate dominion and power, right? But the key verse here is the first line, and by thy sword shalt thou live. So Esau is going to be known to live by the sword, by weaponry, by destructiveness, technology, so forth and so on. Who does the world go to for armaments and for help when it comes down to war? Who's getting these billion dollar a month grants and money and weapons and all of that, javelin missiles and drones? Who's giving that to the Ukraine? Who's giving these tanks to Ukraine? So-called white man. Who's out here creating all of these technological advancements when it comes down to weapons? The so-called white man. I don't give a damn if it's a German tank, Russian tank, uh, 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 um, uh, 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 the state of Israel made a drone. They all the same people, and they all coming up with these same weapons. Biological warfare, the sword, the destructiveness, all comes from him. All the nations flow to him when they want weapons. He's got 750 military bases throughout the world, which will allow him to defend or attack from damn near anywhere on the world. That's why nobody's going to come to America outside of by missile. There's not going to be no invading of America. They got to hit from the outside. And as soon as they got that, they're strategically plotted all over the earth to rain hell on anybody. That's him living by the sword. All right. So when we see articles like this, Biden agrees to arm F-16s for Taiwan, know that that's Esau, because by the sword he's going to live. He's the one that's got ultimate dominion over weaponry. This is why all the nations be relying on him to supply weapons to them. Be it Taiwan, be it Afghanistan, be it Ukraine. Everybody says when we need weapons, we need to go to America. We gotta get it from the white man. Why? Because it was prophesied that he was going to live by the sword. The Arab man ain't living by the sword. They ain't talking about them cutting people's heads off. See, they cutting heads off down in Mexico with the damn cartels. What are you talking about? They living by the sword, showing how Ishmael loves to cut off heads. If you don't knock it off with that foolishness, man, not to get on the tangent, but anyway, weaponry comes from Esau. Biden agrees to arm F-16s for Taiwan. President backed $619 million worth of weapons package after China flexed its muscle by dispatching 25 warplanes to the island. Biden approved an estimated $619 million potential arms sale to Taiwan, including hundreds of missiles for F-16 fighter jets. This comes after China sent warplanes and warships toward the island. We talked about that, I believe, last week. China's been posturing, going over there into the South China Sea, sending out their warplanes, doing drills and naval and sending their naval ships out there, letting America know, back up. You might want to rethink your associations with Taiwan. You understand? So this is why we're seeing those things. Let's continue on with this next one. China hasn't provided weapons to Russia yet. China hasn't yet provided weapons to Russia and Ukraine, but doing so would be a real mistake. Now, this is Esau warning China. Remember, we talked about China, Moab, and Esau's relationship. China, Moab had made their declaration about who they were going to align themselves with. Their white zaddy is Putin. Taiwan said white zaddy is slow Biden. They always have to pick and choose what Edomite they're going to roll with, and that's what it is. So now you've got the House Speaker, Jake Sullivan. He's telling China, it's going to be a mistake if you choose them over us. You see how they treating China like like a harlot? Because remember last week, China said they was going to come out and they was going to they were considering sending weapons and ammunitions to Russia to help them at the war. That was what was being considered, right? So now America steps up and they say, hold on. We know you haven't done it yet, but if you think about doing that, that's going to be a mistake. So what does that mean? More sanctions? They already sanctioned them just because when China came out and said that they were in support of Russia. Remember, China had the little 12-point peace plan and they got shot down. So now they're like, okay, that 12-point peace plan was all favorable for Russia. So they already knew and said, well, we're riding with Russia one way or the other, man. Win, lose, or draw, it is what it is. So now America's letting China know by a veiled threat that if you make an open arms deal with Russia, then we got to get involved. Following warnings from the Biden administration that China is weighing whether to provide Russia with lethal aid for their war in Ukraine, the White House's national security advisor said Sunday that, quote, at this point, they have, quote, not seen them take the step of providing weapons to Moscow. We are watching closely. It's Esau for you, man. They in everybody's damn business. That's him being in control of the earth again, regulating, sticking his big nose everywhere he can to sniff out any folly that doesn't involve him. He wants in. He says, we are watching closely, Jake Sullivan told ABC, quote, this week co-anchor Martha Raddatz. We know they haven't taken it off the table, and we're sending a clear message, as are our European allies, that this would be a real mistake because those weapons would be used to bombard cities and kill civilians, and China should want no part of that. So this is the narrative that they're saying, that the weapons that they use, Russia's going to use them to kill civilians and bombard cities. Are you trying to say that America hasn't done that? to anybody? They haven't killed civilians, bombarded cities. They bombed Philadelphia in the 80s. Bombed some Jason they said was black extremists. Y'all heard about that? The Philadelphia bombing? You talk about civilians getting killed there? I mean, look how they did Fred Hampton. Storming, raiding in the house, man, shooting up everybody. Shot him up while he's in the bed. We're not even talking about the destruction of the ancient civilizations, indigenous civilizations here, North, South, Central America, through their colonizing efforts, bombarding cities and killing civilians. Now all of a sudden they've got some moral high ground that they're standing on, looking down on everybody, saying that isn't right. I mean, that's the nature of war, isn't it? If you're declaring war on another nation or country, man, everybody could be subject to getting bombed and hit. America should know that all too well. That's the Japanese with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Sullivan said it was difficult to say whether China is backing off of the decision, but that what I can say is so far we have not seen them do it. So, here they go. Even with slow Biden, man, I know y'all remember that. When he talking about they're not gonna send the weapons and the missiles and everything else, man. One of my favorite scriptures, Proverbs 26:25. Because we know, man, America is fueling this war. America is the one who's pushing the issue. But at the same point in time, it's all the Most High. Because the Most High said that the deceived and the deceiver is his. With him is strength and wisdom, right? So the pushing towards World War III is already being constructed by the Most High. But Esau is going to take the blame for it because that's his nature. He's a warmongering individual, man. He knows nothing more but to live by the sword. What America's only had like 15 to 16 years of peace since its inception in 1776, so-called 1776. Other than that, man, they always is at war. Always got their hands on in somebody's pot, gun to somebody's head, knife to somebody's throat, bomb to somebody's, country. So Proverbs 26:25, it says, when he speaketh fair, believe him not, for the seven abominations in his heart. So we've clearly seen slow Biden lie after lie after lie. He said if they do all of this stuff, bombs, trains, planes, um, not train, tanks, missiles, so forth and so on. He said that's called World War III. Well, you said it. I didn't. Here you go. Psalms 23. It's like 28 and verse 3. It says, draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors. Here they running around here talking about they trying to achieve peace and, we need peace in the earth. We need to stop the killing. This is Putin's war. We never started nothing. All lies, but at the same time, they're running around acting as if they're the peacekeepers of the world. But what? But mischief is in their hearts. All they're trying to do is conquer and try to get Russia out the way so they can have complete dominion and establish a new world order under their guidelines. But before all of that, there's going to be a third world war. They're going to use every crisis that they can to try to institute a consolidation of power that everybody is supposed to be subject to. Well, the children of Israel, man, we're only consolidated to one power, and that's Yahweh. Law, statutes, and commandments, that's it. We're not supposed to be subject to following after the ways of these heathens, man. But that's what they want. That's what they want. Abishai even told us. Matthew 10 and 34. It says, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So Yahweh even acknowledged, he said there's not going to be some rose petals floating on the ground. He's not going to descend with doves flying around him and telling everybody, stop fighting, everybody, calm down. The Prince of Peace is here. No. He said he's not coming to send peace on earth. All hell's going to break loose during these prophecies that he's telling us about in Matthew 24. What is it? Mark, I think 13, Luke 21, all of those end time destructions, desolations. He said that's what's going to be happening. No peace, but a sword. That's why we're seeing these peace talks failing, supposed, peace talks. It's probably more propaganda than anything, but ain't no peace happening. Everything's fully in motion. Fully in motion. So now America's out here threatening China. Watch your affiliations with Russia. If you give them weapons, it's going to be a problem. They already got their hands full with the issue with Taiwan. So this is only showing you there's two different routes that America's going to have to go to war with China. And China's already said by 2027, they're invading Taiwan, whether anybody likes it or not. Whether that's going to be true by or before then, that's on the Lord. They've gone on record saying in the next 4 years, there's going to be war with Taiwan, which means America's got to get involved. They can't keep funding other wars by proxy. They can't be sending billions of dollars over here to Taiwan and weapons over here, and they still going to be sending them to Ukraine. They're stretched too thin. They're going to have to say, you know what, the hell with it, man. We're just going to have to get involved and smash on everybody. But the scriptures let us know that America's not going to prevail in that way. They're going to attempt to step up and they're going to get smashed. Let's continue on. Romania prepares for war. Tanks and HIMARS are on the streets. Romania is a NATO country. Now, if they're out there preparing for war, what does that mean for the state of NATO? Here they go right here. Hold on. Let me turn this up. I don't know if there is going to be a... Now, this is in Romania. I don't think there's a sound on this. But there they go, parading the tanks in the streets as they're preparing for war. Now, whether is this just some parade that they're riding around the streets, showing off their tanks? I mean, what would be the need of that? Oh, is this just a demonstration? Hey, let's show the people our tanks and show them how powerful we are. Or are they actually mobilizing in preparation to get involved with the war? See, the tweet said Romanian army column of Jeopards and a HIMARS apparently headed towards the Moldovan border, which is the border over there near Ukraine. So let's look at it. So we can see the dynamics of who's involved in this. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization is NATO. This is supposed to be the defenders of the world when it comes down to global conflict. And here we go. Romania is part of NATO. So according to their Article 5, if any NATO country is attacked, everybody jumping in. And that gives NATO the right to enact war on whatever the global threat is. So right now, Ukraine is not part of NATO. That's why they can't. There is no, uh, NATO isn't quote unquote jumping in and helping them outside of fueling them with weapons and money. See, it's in alphabetical order. United Kingdom, United States, those are only used in NATO. Ukraine is not. But guess who is? These guys. And they're saying we got to get the tanks ready to roll. So does that mean a greater threat to NATO? Quite possibly if they get involved in the war. But we'll see. But it's just going to show you how much closer we are to actual engagements between Russia and NATO and America. All right. Iran can make fissile material for a bomb in about 12 days, says a U.S. official. This is one of their greatest threats. They don't want Iran to have these nukes because Iran hates America, hates Israel, has a league with Russia. That's just one more enemy that America does not want to have. But it's too late. They've already, been working on construct. They've been under sanctions since I think Obama, maybe even before that. That they were limited with their nuclear power. They were limited and being restricted from even having nuclear arms. Now all those sanctions and restrictions off the table. They're out there constructing and getting ready for war. Iran could make enough fissile for one nuclear bomb in about 12 days, the top U.S. Defense Department official said on Tuesday, down from the estimated 1 year it would have taken while the 2015 nuclear deal was in effect. 2015. When did Obama become president? He was 2008. So, this is under Obama. The Secretary of Defense for Policy, Colin Kahl, made the comment to the House of Representatives hearing when pressed by a Republican lawmaker why the Biden administration has sought to revive the deal, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. Because Iran's nuclear progress since we left the JCPOA has been remarkable. Back in 2018, when the previous administration decided to leave the JCPOA, it would have taken Iran about 12 months to produce one bomb's worth of fissile material. Now it could take about 12 days. So it's even showing you how fast they're coming up with this weaponry and this material, right? So I made the analogy before regarding Persia, and for anybody that's seen 300, you remember they was talking about when the Persians met up with Leonidas. Was it Leonidas? Was that the? I forgot the guy's name. But in 300, and the messenger came and told him. He said, "Look, they've got enough arrows to shoot that it will block out the sun." So it just shows you how Iran has the capabilities of making these bombs. Why? Because they were always fit and skilled with the bow. They love the arrows. They love the aerial assaults. You understand what I'm saying? The Iranians are the times of the Persians that the scriptures speak about. Modern day Persians is Iran. All right, and here they are. What would have taken them a year to make a bomb? Now they're able to do it in 12 days because of the technological advancements and their propensity to be able to make these type of bombs. So it only goes to show you how and why that's necessary to understand. All right. So they've ramped up their production. Let me see if I can remember where that scripture is. I think it's in. I think it's in Isaiah about them. Hold on one second. Let me see. Ain't in, I can't recall that scripture off the top of my head. I got to come back to it later. I'll come back to it later if I can remember. But anyway, the point of the matter is that with them having this particular spiritual connection with these type of weapons, be it arrows, be it bombs, this is why we see how fast they're able to create these things because they want in on this war. They want in. All right. Israel's window to strike Iran narrows as Putin enters the equation. Well, look at that. Israel's trying to strike Iran. This is why they're trying to ramp up to get their missiles prepared. As they run around here with this whole holier than now attitude, we just seen Jake Sullivan telling China, "Oh, if you give Russia these bombs, they're gonna hit innocent civilians and so forth and so on. No, nobody's talking about Israel trying to bomb Iran. Are they concerned about civilians and innocent people getting hit over there? No, that's the nature of war. That's how it goes down. But they try to create this moral high ground as if they the right ones, man. I mean, the so-called white man is a damn clown and a hypocrite. Okay, Iran is seeking sophisticated new air defense systems from Russia that Israeli officials believe will narrow the window for a potential strike on Tehran's nuclear program, according to people familiar with the matter. So, if you remember, maybe about a month ago, there was a drone attack that hit Iran's nuclear facilities. And they said, oh, Iran said, man, it only damaged the roof. They ain't really do no damage. And the uh, the squatters in our land were saying, oh, it was a successful hit. We really wiped them out. So who knows what the truth was, but they're constantly trying to diminish the threat of Iran getting busy. But notice here, it says Iran is seeking sophisticated newer air defense systems from Russia. Why from Russia? We've talked about this one before. And I just seen it here. Hold on. Uh, yeah. So why are they seeking it from Russia? We've read Ezekiel 38 a number of times. So here we're seeing here Persia, they're speaking about Iran, Ethiopia and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, talking about all of them gathering up arms, preparing for war, as we read it here in verse 4, all under the guides of Russia. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarma of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. What does it say? Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee. He's speaking about Gog Magog, speaking about Russia, right? And the Eastern European power, Russia, right? Soviet Union, the former Soviet Union. It says, Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, and all thy company that are assembled unto thee. All his company is including these nations here, and be thou a guard unto them. So they are supposed to take them under the wing, be a guard for them, be a protector, be a provider for them when they're involved in their particular conflicts and war. Because why? The gesture is going to be reciprocated, or is going to be expected to be reciprocated. Iran is going to be expected to help Russia when the ish hits the fan with them in NATO. Right now, Iran's saying, I got problems with Israel. I need you to help me out. So prophetically, we see that happening. Iran is seeking sophisticated new air defense systems from Russia. Why? Because Russia is going to be a guard unto them. They're going to be protecting them. That's why they ain't go to America. They ain't go to China. They ain't go to Pakistan. They had to go to White Zaddy. Seeking new air defense system from Russia that Israeli officials believe will narrow the window for a potential strike on Tehran's nuclear program, according to people familiar with the matter. The prospect of Iran getting the systems, the S-400s, would accelerate a decision on a possible attack. People in Israel and the U.S. with knowledge of the discussion said. Russia hasn't said publicly if it will supply the weapons, but Moscow and Tehran have drawn closer since Moscow's invasion in Ukraine. You think? Why would they be drawing closer? Hello? We know why. The Lord knows why. The discerned and the understanding know why. The Israelites know why they're drawing closer, because the scriptures tell us that. They ain't gonna talk about this tomorrow at church. This is why people need to wake up, man, and unplug and take out the dang, church heroin needles out their arms. Get off the Christianity dope and Catholicism dope. 7 Day Disadvantage dope. The Mormon dope. All of that stuff, man. Sober up and see what's really going on. Let's continue. It says Russia hasn't said publicly if it will supply the weapons. Why would they? Why would you go? Yeah, you know what? We're going to go ahead on and give them the weapons. So now Israel knows, America knows, everybody knows the plan of attack. Everybody knows what's going on. It would take less than two. Let me read it. Moscow and Tehran have drawn closer since Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. It would take less than 2 years for the S-400s to be operational. The longer you wait, the harder that becomes, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said of a strike on Iran at a security conference in Tel Aviv last week. We've waited very long. I can tell you that. I will do everything in my power to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. They can have them. Iran can't. Again, showing you the power that the so-called white man has on the earth. Drone crashes near Moscow. Two others from Ukraine are downed in South Russia. So now we're seeing an invasion and drones getting shot down. They're trying to actually hit Russia now. The war isn't just in Ukraine. Now they're trying to expand and hit areas of Russia. Now, if Russia gets hit, all bets is off now. Putin's got every right to defend his land now. That's why he broke the nuclear treaty. That's why he's talking about using nukes and everything else. He's ready to push the panic button, according to his words. Now, again, he's Edomite. He can speak fair. Believe him not. Who knows? We're going to find out whether the Lord put the spirit on him and says, "This is it. Do what you need to do. Do what I tell you to do, and that's it." We're going to find out. It says a drone that was likely targeting civilian infrastructure crashed near Moscow on Tuesday. Did you read that? A drone that was likely targeting civilian infrastructure. I thought they said that the Russians were the ones hitting civilians and killing innocents. Oh, they're bombing the malls and apartment buildings and everything else. Sounds like Ukraine is doing the same thing or attempting to. Jake Sullivan told China, don't give them weapons because the Russians are just going to use it to kill innocent people. What? What's this say? Ukraine tried to use a drone to kill civilians. That's the nature of war. But if you leave it to America, they're going to sit back and act like they ain't do nothing. Oh, everything that when the Ukrainians hit, they hit their targets. They're hitting all the troops. They're hitting all the generals. They're hitting all the tanks. They're precise. But why do they say that? Because America is the one giving them the coordinates of where to bomb, when to do it, their weapons. You know, America don't want to be embarrassed to say the stuff that we gave them didn't work. The stuff that we got over there that we trained them on doesn't work. So of course they're gonna go out there and say, look, everything we're giving them works like a charm. Meanwhile, we're seeing no, they're over there trying to hit civilian infrastructure and the whole night. They both playing the same game. That's why the propaganda and the white man speaking with forked tongue man is real because this dude is doing the exact same thing they're saying Russia's doing. They're doing the same thing. So it says a drone that was likely targeting civilian infrastructure crashed near Moscow on Tuesday, a regional official said, after the defense ministry reported downing two Ukrainian drones in southern Russia. The reported incidents are the latest in a series of suspected drone attacks in recent months inside Russia, sometimes far from the border with Ukraine, that Moscow has blamed on Kiev. As for the incident with the crash of a UAV in district of Kolomna, the target was probably a civilian infrastructure facility, which was not damaged. Moscow Regional Governor Andrei Voroboyov said in a statement referring to unmanned aerial vehicles. There are no casualties or damage on the ground. The FSB security services and the competent authorities are investigating. So drones are being used, soft warfare, but they're trying to hit civilian infrastructure. If they go hit Russia, now Putin's got every right to defend everywhere he's going. I mean, their land. What measures he takes to defend it, we'll see. He's saying he's going to go full blown nuclear if need be. There was another one. There was another video. I meant to show that one too. See, as soon as you pop something up, man. Oh, he didn't say that. You know, the fact checkers. Now, we've done this before. Um, when they say they didn't say something, I forgot what it was. If y'all remember, there was a female. I forgot what she said. They said she didn't say that. I played the video. She clearly said it. But it's how you know, man. Esau come out, man, want to clean up their lives right away. Fact checkers is the first thing that pops up on the damn internet when I put this in. Zelensky says America must send sons and daughters. First thing that you get a search comes up, fact check. Make sure that that's the first thing that comes up on the Google search. The algorithms is already lined up to thwart off anybody questioning what was said. Let's see if it'll play on here. Before we continue, man, fair use for whoever needs to hear this. Fair use, man. I'm using this for news reporting, teaching, and scholarship and research. All right. Let's see.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up.
Polls in the United States are suggesting that a growing number of Americans believe that the US is giving too much support to Ukraine. What would your message be on the anniversary to those Americans? Thank you.
I would like to thank the American people. I would like to thank all of the American people that are supporting Ukraine, the Congress, the president, the TV channels, the journalists, and everyone that has been supporting us. And that percentage of Americans, as you've mentioned, is increasing. I can tell them only one thing. If they do not change their opinion, if they do not understand us, if they do not support Ukraine, they will lose NATO, they will lose the clout of the United States, they will lose the leadership position that they are enjoying in the world, that they are enjoying for a very fair reason, and they will lose the support of the country with 40 million of population, with millions of children. Are American children any different than ours? Don't Americans enjoy the same things as we do? I don't think we're that different. And
so you hear the question was, he said, man, people are saying too much money is going over there to you, man. We're tired of supporting your war, so forth and so on. He's coming back saying, oh, yeah, we want to thank everybody who supports the war. But listen, if you don't get on board and support Ukraine, all hell is going to break loose. And that's what it is. Like, Ukraine is the most important country in the world right now. And if you're not, like George Bush said, either you're with us or you're with the terrorists. He's trying to draw that line in the sand, trying to draw the guilt out of anybody who doesn't want to support Ukraine and these damn heathens over there. I mean, where the hell was Ukraine at when they was kicking the Nigerians out, or when the Nigerians was trying to leave when the war first started, and they was getting rejected everywhere they went? Where was they at? They were students over there, man, telling them they got to fight the war, they can't leave. They got to the border of Poland, man. They was letting the Ukrainians over. The Nigerians, they said, go back. They didn't give a damn about our, if they was our people. I don't know. We know that there's a scattering and a dispersion of Israel in Nigeria. The fact remains, man, that they, do have a Nazi party and regime that's over there fighting and have political influence over there. That's been on record, and they've been there for years on end. We just seen all of the corrupt politicians and all that resigning and leaving Ukraine because of their corruption. And he's saying, if you don't support this, you're going to lose it all. But remember, I've said that already. America can't afford to lose. NATO can't afford to lose, because now it is going to take off the majesty and the mystique of America and its power. So they can't afford to lose any more wars. But let's continue.
I'm actually very happy that we have bipartisan support, but we keep hearing those messages from time to time, and they're dangerous. There are political leaders that are elected by people, and if this issue is raised, those political leaders need to be responsible and cautious because people are looking at them. Who wants the Third World War? Would anyone risk? Would anyone be willing to accept that risk? The U.S. is.
He wants it because they had um, peace negotiations on the table. He said no. He said, I don't want. I'm not talking to. I'm not talking to the Russians, man. He turned down the peace talks. Now he's warmongering. Now he's running around here puffed up because NATO and America said we got your back. So he figures I can do whatever the hell I want to, and I'm in Slow Biden's pockets. He's giving me everything I want.
Is never going to give up on the NATO member states. If it happens so that Ukraine, due to various opinions and weakening and depleting of assistance, loses, Russia is going to enter Baltic states, NATO member states, and then the US will have to send their sons and daughters exactly the same way as we are sending their sons and daughters to war, and they will have to fight.
Now, he says if Ukraine loses, Russia then is going to continue on invading NATO nations, and now the US, you're going to have to send your sons and daughters to fight. Now, in essence, he's saying if we lose, World War III is going to get cracking. And he's saying that your sons and daughters' lives depend upon us winning this war. If we lose, you're going to war. Well, the scriptures tell us that. We've been talking about that forever, right?
To war, and they will have to fight because it's NATO that we're talking about, and they will be dying, God forbid, because it's a horrible thing. I would like to thank.
So there we have that, right? But the fact checkers say he didn't say that. Zelensky didn't say American sons and daughters have to fight in Ukraine. What? Do you see how they get slicked up? It's white lies. He wasn't talking about having to fight in Ukraine. He said that they were going to have to fight in a world war. Who's saying that he got to go to Ukraine to fight? No, he's saying your sons and daughters going to be involved in this war, whether you like it or not, if we lose. Or they're going to get drawn in if we're taking losses. NATO's going to have to get involved. America's going to have to get involved. But as soon as the fact checkers come out, oh, he didn't say he wasn't threatening your sons and daughters. He just said they're going to have to fight. Did I miss something? Somebody tell me I'm tripping. Did y'all see that? Or am I tripping? Can you imagine this damn demon, man? Can you imagine this damn demon? Oh, yeah. There you go, Karatazai. That was it. That was it. Yeah, that was the German prime minister, whatever her particular whatever her particular position was. She said we are at war with Russia right now. So I mean, World War III is already here, man. He's still running around here acting as if it's not happening. Look at this guy. He's talking about we got to rely on the we got to accept the fact checkers. What do we rely on the horse's mouth? Exactly. That's what they want. Esau wants to control the narrative, man. He wants to be able to tell you what's true and what ain't true. We tired of listening to him. He done lied to us for so many damn years. All of a sudden, he's the only one with the truth now. I'll pass. We ain't got nowhere with that, man. He's up out of here with that foolishness. All right, so there you go. He said he didn't say your sons and daughters gonna have to fight. Now we just heard him just say it. Leave it to Esau, man. In typical fashion of the devil. All right, let's continue on. Getting back over here talking about that toxic spill, man. The whole waste dump over there in East Palestine. Let's update on that. Norfolk. Remember, they had the damn Negro EPA official come out and say, trust the government. Whatever they say goes. If they say it's safe, it's safe. You know, the brown nose and Negro always want to. White man says it's good. Man, boss said it's safe. Boss said it's good. He got to be the mouthpiece, man. You know, he gonna take it. He's gonna take the brunt of the damn onslaught because he's the one out here being the mouthpiece for the devil. You telling him, hey, man, go out there, nigga. You tell him everything's fine. Hey, boss told us everything good. I drink the water. Well, go ahead. I'm not thirsty. Nigga, what are you talking about then? You're not gonna drink it and be quiet. Norfolk Southern to truck toxic waste from East Palestine train derailment to 2 sites in Ohio after EPA stopped cleanup when it emerged contaminants were being taken to Michigan and Texas. Do you see how Esau's doing it? He's spreading it even more. They taking the toxic waste, man, transporting it to Michigan and Texas, and now it's spilling out all over there. Now they had to slow down. They stopping water sales in different places because of this whole incident. People is all coming up sick. I think they said 47,000 animals have died so far. And Esau saying, that's fine. Don't worry about it. You know, that's normal. So they tried to move this stuff, taking it to Michigan and Texas to try to dump it off. And if you trust your enemy, you can expect Michigan and Texas with the next 2 spots to get hit with sicknesses and illnesses. You know, biological warfare is no stranger to the so-called white man. Man, ask the Native Americans, man. Ask them how them smallpox was doing them. Whooping cough, yellow fever. You dig what I'm saying? All coming from him. Toxic waste from the wreckage will be sent to Vickery in Liverpool in Ohio. Shipments of the hazardous waste could begin on Monday after a 2-day pause. Some liquids were already being taken to facilities in Michigan and Texas. Shipment of contaminated waste from the site of a fiery train derailment earlier this month in eastern Ohio near the Pennsylvania state line will resume Monday. The 2 approved sites in the state, according to federal environment authorities. EPA certified facilities able to accept some of the waste had been identified, which meant shipments could restart Monday. Region 5 Administrator Deborah Shore on the Environmental Protection Agency said Sunday. The announcement came a day after the EPA ordered Norfolk Southern to pause shipments from the site of the February 3rd derailment in East Palestine to allow additional oversight measures about where waste was shipped. So they're trying to figure out where to dump this stuff at. And they had to pause it and say, hold on. Let's think about how much we're going to dump over here, how much we're going to dump over there. Let's resume business. So let's see what happens. Let's continue. Sound like Mickey Mouse. East Palestine residents shocked illnesses after the derailment. They saying everybody's fine. There's a video of this guy. He does sound like Mickey Mouse. The guy's talking, man. Let me see if I can find a video on YouTube on it. But this guy was talking, man. His voice is all jacked up. Let me see if they got the video on here. Dude sounds jacked up. Here you go.
I work in East Palestine at Rural Arena, outside with cars and water.
Listen to this guy. This is all from him inhaling the toxic chemicals, man. And Esau said it's fine, go back home. And remember, I pulled out the article about when it happened to what was it, New Jersey 10 years before that? Same thing happened. They told the people to stay away for 3 months. Palestine, they said 5 days, go ahead, I'm back. Then they had what 100 lawsuits came after that because people was all jacked up with illnesses, and that was after months of being away. They told these this the white trash we've been talking. I've been talking about the last couple of weeks. This the heathen man that Esau said, "Hey, those are the ones we're going to sacrifice, so that when it comes down to civil rights and uprisings of fair treatments and all that about the Negroes and Hispanics and Native Americans, we can always point to them and say, well, look at them, they're just like you. So you guys don't have a monopoly on oppression. We'll do it to our own too." So these little dirtbag heathens over here, man, they getting hit too by their own. Listen to this guy.
I work in East Palestine at Rural Arena, outside with cars and water, and it's just been like this ever since
Oh, come on now.
it blew up.
It's crazy. What does your voice really sound like, Wade? I know you can't tell us, but is it like that? You sound like
No.
Michael Jackson normally?
Lately, I sound like Mickey Mouse.
Yep.
But
He's got a deep, raspy voice normally.
other than that, I just go and get tested and get checked out.
Well, what are they telling you?
My doctor says I most definitely have the chemicals in me.
You see, she got a Trump shirt on. They stay looking for their white savior, man. Trump don't give a damn about them.
And
But he has to find a toxologist to get properly.
they keep telling me to come up here, but nobody has nothing.
When you say nobody has anything, like there are no doctors in town to be able to help you?
That's what they tell me.
That's
I gotta make a phone call and schedule an appointment with somebody.
Okay.
But
are you going to do that?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Okay. Is it just affecting your voice, Wade, or are you feeling it in other areas of your body?
my chest hurts at nighttime. It feels like I'm drowning a little.
He wakes up every morning.
I have a hard
now.
time
Yeah.
breathing. I cough up phlegm a lot. Yeah. But other than that,
And were you in pretty good health, Wade, up until now?
yeah,
Only a 40-year-old man. That's not very old.
no. But now I work in East Palestine.
See, and that's the nature of how, the so-called white man is conditioned everybody. You heard, and I'm sure many of us have heard the quote of Klaus Schwab in the World Economic Forum when they say you will own nothing and be happy. What? I don't think that's the whole quote, but it says you buy nothing, you own nothing, and be happy. Hold on, Shalaki. What is going on here? This guy's all jacked up. Yeah, you own nothing and you will be happy. You own nothing, you'll be yeah. So, in other words, man, we're going to be dealing with matters of oppression and still be happy with it. This guy's all jacked up. He's basically like, man, I'm going to the doctor. They telling me I don't know what's going on with you. You definitely got hit with them chemicals. You got to wait for a toxicologist. Where's the toxicologist at? We don't know. You're going to find someone. We'll wait on your treatments. And then he just said, hey, it is what it is. I mean, no outrage. No, I'm suing. I'm trying to find justice somewhere. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know if I got cancer cells. I could be dying next week. He just basically smiling in the whole nine, man. I'd be heated. But that's the psychological effects of not having anything, no power, and you still be happy. I mean, our people was already subject to that during slavery. Working on them plantations, man. You know how many times our people were scared to revolt, rebel, escape, leave? Would snitch on anybody that was talking about leaving? That's essentially what they're announcing in this particular statement. You going back into captivity and true bondage, and you're gonna love it, and you ain't gonna complain about it. That's what they're gearing everything up towards. Okay. But this guy's all jacked up, man, sounding like damn Mickey Mouse, and he's smiling about it. Let's look at it here. It says, despite his health woes, Lovett and his fiancee Tanya Irwin, 45, spent last Thursday delivering bottled water to locals. They picked up new cases outside a home on East Clark Street, which has become the heart of East Palestine's homegrown campaign to fight back against the forces that upend the lives of roughly 4,700 residents and their animals. So they're running around trying to do the works that the so-called government and FEMA is supposed to be doing. Where are they at? Slow Biden said, I'll get to I'll get to East Palestine when I get there. You know, he got time to go fly to Ukraine. He's got time to fall up the stairs. When he left over there in Poland, he's dishing out billions though over there, man, funneling money for wars. We just seen he gave over 400 million, or was it 600 million to Taiwan for them to arm up. Esau's living by the sword. He don't care about charity. They're running around. Trump used it as a little political opportunity. He went over there with his Trump water and bought McDonald's for for everybody over there. He trying to get his votes up, thinking he's gonna get back over there in 2024. Man, they ain't having that devil back in the office. They had enough of him. But they are going to use him for political fodder and for entertainment for the 2024 elections. He's going to be used for entertainment. Other than that, he's not going to be president again. They are not having that. Anyway, let's continue. Look at this. Report: animals in Ohio parks are dying at alarming rates after the train wreck. Toxic levels are the exact chemicals that were released from East Palestine. But the Negro said everything's fine. EPA chief. Newly published report charges that animals in Ohio parks are dying at alarming rates following the derailment of the chemical-laden train in East Palestine only a few weeks ago. So not only are the animals dying, any of the and that's part of that area is farm country over there. So some of the food supplies that was once being exported out of there is not accepted, not happening no more. People are losing their livestock. So this is going to have a greater effect on food supplies, water, what else? Just overall with their whole livelihoods, the economy. You dig what I'm saying? So it goes deeper than just these heathens running around here with Mickey Mouse voices. The impact is going to happen to any of the nearby states that relied on them to get food and economically sustain East Palestine. That's out the window. There are 50 train carriages, 10 of which were carrying the hazardous chemicals that derailed February 3rd. We already know about all that. Look at this. A report from the Ohio Star said officials told East Palestine residents days after the accident they could return home. Quote, despite the reports of hundreds of dead fish in the Ohio River near East Palestine and residents complaining of headaches and illness since the derailment. Soon residents were reporting cases of bronchitis, lung issues, and rashes that doctors and nurses suspect are linked to the chemical exposure. So they got bronchitis, lung issues, rashes, headaches, animals dying all over the damn place. But everything's fine. And now they're getting ready to go transport the stuff over here to Michigan and Texas. Havana syndrome. If y'all remember what was going on with that, there was many of U.S. embassy officials was getting hit with what's known as let's look it up, because this was being once spoken of about being a weapon. A weapon. So let's look at this real quick. Havana syndrome is an alleged set of medical symptoms with unknown causes experienced mostly abroad by U.S. government officials and military personnel. The symptoms range in severity from pain and ringing in the ears to cognitive difficulties, and were first reported in 2016 by the U.S. Hearing a sudden loud noise, pain in one or both ears, feeling a pressure or vibrations in the head, tin- tinnitus, visual problems, vertigo, nausea, and cognitive difficulties. Now, this was all being said that it was happening from microwave towers, i.e., cell towers. Now, we've all heard about, 5G, is that a cause? Is it the Wi-Fi technology and whatnot? In other words, they're talking about radio waves affecting the body. And if anybody's seen, what's that movie, The Kingsman, with uh, Samuel Jackson, turning the cell phones into a weapon. They hit the little hit the waves, and everybody with the phone start bugging out, going crazy. Now they have a invisible weapon that was causing illnesses, and it was only hitting these U.S. officials that were stationed over there in Cuba. Now they came back to say, "Oh no, we know that there's conspiracies about that, but let's put that to rest. That's not the case." Look at this. Havana syndrome was not. They put that in capitals. Caused by an energy weapon of foreign enemies. Intelligence report claims, but the U.S. officials still don't know what is behind the mysterious ailment. So they openly just said, "We don't know what's behind this, but we know it's not an energy weapon. We can assure you of that." Really? You just said you don't know, but now you know what it's not, but you don't know. I mean, the white man speak with forked tongue, does he not? Psalm 12 and 2. They speak vanity, everyone with his neighbor, with flattering lips and with a double heart do they speak. This is so-called white man. All day long. Double heart do they speak. They put something out and say, we didn't say that. Let's fact check that. Put the fact checkers on it, man. Put the AI fact checkers. Create an article real quick. Put the people's worries at ease. We've got all the answers. They just said it's not an energy weapon. We know that for sure. But we don't know what's behind. And we're being told not to call the white man the devil. He's not the great deceiver. Oh no. He doesn't lie. Remember George Washington when he chopped the cherry tree down? Remember that story when we was little? And we was asked to confess. He said, "I cannot tell a lie." You remember that lot? Y'all remember that damn foolishness they was trying to teach us as kids. George Washington, he chopped the cherry tree down, and then when he got rebuked for it, asked did he do it? "I can't tell a lie." You you just lied right then and there. You can't tell a lie. You do it all the time. All the time. So we just see right here, man. He's trying to deny that he's got energy weapons. He has those things. Let's stop. Let's stop playing games. U.S. Intel assessment reported cast doubt on energy weapon theory. Officials still don't know the source of the mysterious symptoms of Havana syndrome. Mystery ailment first appeared among U.S. embassy officials in Cuba in 2016. So they're saying we don't know where these mysterious symptoms are coming from, but we know it's not an energy weapon that our foreign enemies are using against us. Really? Okay. Yeah, I believe you, Esau. You would never tell a lie, would you? Would you? Let's continue. Bird flu. We see the mutations happening. Look at this. Bird flu is mutated to infect people. Fresh pandemic fears as scientists on ground zero in Cambodia find H5N1 strain that killed 11-year-old girl had evolved to infect human cells better. So here we're seeing the evolution of more plagues. You understand? That's what Yahweh Shah was talking about when he said, Matthew 21. Matthew, let's read 24 real quick. 24 and 7. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and what? Pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So here we're seeing another pestilence rising up that's now mutated into something that was only thought to infect birds. Human contact wouldn't happen. Oh, that's changed now. Why? Because the Lord said it's gonna have to change. Sirach 39, and let's read how the Most High works. Sirach 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes in the time of destruction. They pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpion serpents and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. So everything that we're seeing here, man, the Most High is creating these things. The pestilences that are arising, the drug resistant gonorrhea and drug resistant plagues that's happening right now, the Marburg virus that's going around, Ebola, AIDS, HIV, all this stuff, man. That's all coming from the Lord. So now we're seeing bird flu is now mutating and can now affect people. Scientists on the ground who made the find said it was was of the utmost concern. 11-year-old girl from Prey Vang province became the world's first victim this year. So, the heathen getting pounded again. That's just one. Oh, look at this. I remember that channels getting flagged, shut down for saying this. Oh, now the stories have changed, huh? Very interesting. I still got to tiptoe around this thing, but y'all can see it. Many of y'all may have even seen this before. The leak, oh, most likely came from where? Oh, the lab. Oh, it wasn't bats, was it? It came up out of there. Remember, they crucified it and cut off uh Trump for saying it came from China. It's the Kung Flu. Remember that? Kung Flu? Now all of a sudden we got to hit a reverse. The U.S. Energy Department has concluded that this thing was known as a pandemic, most likely arose from a laboratory leak, according to a classified intelligence report recently provided to the White House and key members of Congress. Oh, okay. I'm gonna stop there because I don't even want them saying, "Oh, he's talking about it. Get him." Y'all can read it. You see it. All of a sudden now the truth is coming out. Okay. Look at this. The 15-minute city where urban planning meets conspiracy theories. This is what they're trying to assemble. This is what they're trying to get established. It's establishing new consolidated cities where they can crunch everybody in, i.e., you could say they I mean these are a little nicer than a FEMA camp. You can look up Rex 84, King Alfred Plan. Many of y'all may have not heard of it. Some of y'all have, but if you haven't, look those things up, and you'll find out what's going on. Um, let's read it. The 15-minute city where urban planning meets conspiracy theory. A quick history of the 15-minute city. The idea behind the 15-minute city is not a new one and is familiar to anyone who has strolled around the historic villages of Europe or remembers bustling main streets in the United States before the post-war sprawl that arrived with the interstate system. More recently, developments that market themselves as places to live, work, and play have helped breathe new life into America's inner cities. In 2012, Portland, Oregon adopted a plan for a 20-minute neighborhood in which residents could live within a half mile of amenities such as grocery stores, parks, and elementary schools. Sounds great, doesn't it? Everything's in walking distance. All locally provided and ready set up for you by the Great city of Portland, Oregon. Have you seen Portland, Oregon lately? Have you looked at that place? The place looked like a damn wasteland. Dope fiends all over the place, man. Homeless sprout all over the damn place. The yuppie Edomites, man, if they walking around, sodomites done took over, man. Jake is stuck in uh in their in the hoods over there, you know. Portland, Oregon is completely collapsed, man. It's over with. But they were the forerunners to tell you about the future of what the city's gonna be. I mean, UZL and Malachi, y'all can talk about what's going on up there at any time. So here they are telling you about this great, anytime something is provided with convenience, you know that there's a back door of evil that's going to come behind it. Okay, look at this. The concept gained new momentum during the pandemic, which altered both the daily lives of millions of newly co-opt up commuters as well as ideas about the future of urban design. Proponents say 15-minute cities are healthier for their residents and the environment as they encourage walking and discourage a reliance on cars. Well, isn't that what they're pushing? No more gas cars, no power engines, everything electric. If not, utilize the electric vehicles that's provided to you by the city. You know, they want everybody in compact arenas. This is what you call Agenda 21. Now it's called Agenda 30. Look those things up. Agenda 21, Agenda 30 is what they kind of morphed it into now. Um, but look at this. What's the name of it? Um, 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 damn, I'm drawing a blank. I showed this before, but look at this. Same guy that was talking about you own nothing and be happy, right? This is what a 15-minute city will be comprised of. This is how it's going to operate off of a digital ID. All the residents that's in there, in order to function in this new city, and we're going to get to it in a minute. You're going to see here. You see right here? Smart cities. That's what they're talking about. Digital ID. Everything is going to be programmed into a device. All residents must have aware their device for access to all the city has to offer. Look at it. Healthcare for users to access insurance, treatment, to monitor health devices, wearables. Haven't you noticed the new iPhone watch? Doesn't it tell you about your heart rate, how many steps you done took, whether or not you're pregnant, all this other stuff? They already got the iPhone watch monitoring your health for you right now. They're just going to up the ante on the tech. It's already prepared. They're just waiting for everybody to beg for it. You ain't going to beg for it until all hell is breaking loose. And they say, well, if you want a way out, come over here. All the rest, we've got problem. We're going to round them up. We're going to get that in the scriptures next. So this digital ID says for user to access insurance, treatment, to monitor health devices, wearables, for care providers to demonstrate their qualifications. What else is going to be contained in your ID? Your financial services. You won't be able to open a bank account unless you got this. Carry out other online financial transactions unless you got this. Food and sustainability for farmers and consumers to verify provenance of produce, to enhance value and traceability in supply chains. So the controlling of the food supply is going to be done through this. Travel and mobility to book trips, to go through border control between countries and regions. You won't have it here unless you got this. Remember, 2 Ezra 15 says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? There's going to be quarantines. There's going to be cutoff points. There's going to be areas that you can't go because if you don't comply, you can't go. Humanitarian response to access services to demonstrate qualifications to work in a foreign country. Oh, you want to go to an allied smart city, allied country? You won't be able to do it unless you have cooperated. e-commerce, to shop, to conduct business transactions and secure payments. You got an online hustle. You've been working and maintaining your business that way. You use e-commerce to do your business. You can't do it unless you got this. You want to shop? Amazon, Walmart, all that other stuff. That's how we got access to it now. All those companies are going to be consolidating. They're going to comply with how things work because they're not going to want to sacrifice their business, their money. They're going to go right in alignment with the system of the beast. Social platforms for social interactions to access third-party services that rely on social media logins. All this free flowing, creating fake accounts. Oh, I can get an email. I'll just troll here. That ain't going down. You want to maintain your 2 million followers on whatever? You're going to have to bow down and get into the system of the beast, man. Or you just lose it all. How many people are so engaged with their followings and their online presences and social media, stigmas that they got on them? Are they really ready to give them all up? They're all going to sacrifice and say, you know what? I can't lose all of this. Sign me up to the system of the beast. E-government for citizens to access and use services. File taxes. Vote to collect benefits. What happens if you don't file your taxes? Oh, you're now a criminal. That's felony. You're going to get locked up. If you say, nope, I'm not doing that. Oh, well, then you're not going to file your taxes? Oh, you're not going to render to Caesar? Oh, okay. And you know there's going to be some Israelites out there. Hey, man, the scriptures say render to Caesar. What's Caesar's, man? I'm going to go ahead and get this thing so I can live. Okay. We see the traps is already there. Telecommunications for users to own and use devices for service providers to monitor. Hello? To monitor devices. We need to track and trace everywhere you go. We need to make sure we know what you're doing. What are you buying? What are you eating? People are already conditioned doing that already right now. Going out to the restaurants, taking a picture of what you're eating. Oh, let's take a group selfie at the bar. Let's show them what we're drinking. I mean, people are already ready and willing to expose their lives. That's what the social media is all for. Let everybody know what you're up to. So now when Esau comes in and says, we're going to monitor and we need to find out what you're doing, I don't have anything to hide. I post everything anyway. I just seen this article, man, this dumb Jake, wicked Negro out of Florida, some rapper. I don't think he's popular, but some rapper confessed to killing somebody through his rap lyrics, and that's what got him locked up. Because they want to tell everything, man. You want to sound so tough. You didn't kill somebody. Let me rap about it and let the world know. Well, that's what the wicked nigga gets anyway, man. Lock his butt up then. Because he didn't kill another Jake. But let's continue. Smart cities. Oh, is that what these things are going to be considered? 15-minute cities, 20-minute cities, smart cities. What are these cities going to be composed of? To monitor devices and sensors. Everything is to monitor you. Are we going to monitor your device? We need to monitor your network. Make sure that your Wi-Fi is on so that we can watch where you're going and what you're logged into. To monitor devices and sensors transmitting data such as energy uses, air quality, traffic congestion. Oh, so your energy uses, all the smart meters that they're putting in the homes. I think it was in Colorado. They had the smart meters in people's homes was automatically adjusted and turned down when it was too I think it was too cold and people was putting up their heat. They took over their controls of their thermostats, man, and put them down because they were using too much energy. And people was tripping like, dang, I can't even control my own energy no more. And they was like, yeah, we're trying to save the earth and you can't be exploiting it. Turn it up and then turn it down. Otherwise, we'll take control. Energy uses, quality, traffic congestion. And look what? QR codes for everything. Notice how all that's being morphed into the technology now. Just scan the QR code for this special. Scan the QR code to download this. Scan the QR code to pay for this. You understand? That's the next level. So this is what the smart cities is all going to be encompassing upon. And let's just say you want to be a little rebel. Want to be a rebel? Okay. He's already got that understood. Second Ezra 16. Let's see. Um, let's look at let me see. Okay, so let's look at this. So the Most High is letting us know in the verses above that, for those of us, man, who have an understanding of what's going on, the Lord said that we have to repent. We got to repent and we got to stand in the face of the Lord, man, in all righteousness. Otherwise, this is going to happen. Verse 67, it says, Behold, Yahweh himself is the judge. Fear him. Leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall the Most High lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. Why is he acknowledging the trouble? Because the trouble is going to be coming. Jacob's trouble, all of those things that we read about in Isaiah. Yeah. The only way we're going to be delivered from those things is to what? Leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities. Meaning what? Repent. Keep the laws and the commandments. The church is telling you ain't got to do that no more. That's why they're going to be delivering everybody into trouble. Look up the FEMA pastors, the FEMA response teams. Oh no, Salaki. The clergy response teams. These are all sellout, operative preachers, church leaders who are already working with the government, man, who have already made agreements that they will deliver their congregations to the government when time comes. And they're going to report all dissidents that don't want to comply. Clergy response teams, they already got them out there. All right, verse 68. Behold, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered to idols. So when they take away certain of us and feed us, meaning they're going to take anyone who's in rebellion that doesn't want part of this, and they're going to try to defile us. They're going to try to torture. They're going to try to put. Remember, even Yahweh Shah said, man, that our families will turn on you. In Luke 21, he said, even your kinfolks are going to do it. Deliver you over. See, look at it. Luke 21:16. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. When they deliver you up and say, yeah, oh yeah, he got some weird name and she got some weird name. Yeah, those used to be my neighbors. I heard they're going here. Oh, your friends, the ones you've been still holding on to in the world that, keep telling you, man, leave that cult alone, man. You tripping. Why are you doing all of this stuff, man? God loves everybody. Those are the ones that are going to say, yeah, they hang out over here. They teach out over there. Go find them. Oh, yeah, I know where he lives at. Your parents, brethren, kinsfolk, friend. Yahweh Shah said it. I didn't. He said this is going to happen. Betrayals are going to happen in households, amongst friendships. He said some of them, they're going to sell us out. Some of us is going to face this stuff. See? Verse 12, it says, But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought forth kings and rulers for my name's sake. So this is cyclical. Some say, oh, this was 70 AD. 70 AD, but at the same time, this is still future prophecies that Yahweh Shah was acknowledging. Because there's still, all of these prophecies still having to come to pass in one accord, because it was all talking about the end of the world and the second coming of Yahweh Shah. So these are things that were going to be happening leading up to the deliverance of Israel. But it said, we're going to be tossed into prisons, man, brought before rulers and kings. And it's going to come at the expense of kinfolks and friends selling you out. So anyone that doesn't want to take part in what's to come, it said, behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. That great multitude is the system of the beast, man, the government, everybody else. The World Economic Forum, everybody says, man, if you don't want part of this, man, you a rebel, man. You are a danger to everybody else's well-being. We got to get rid of you. Slap them in the camps, man. They're going to take away certain of you, feed you being idle and things offered unto idols. Same way they did in the Maccabees, trying to force the priests in Israel, man, to defile the temple, sacrifice swine's flesh, like they did Eleazar. Told him, man, eat this sandwich in front of everybody, eat this unclean meat. Actually, it was clean meat. He said they were told Eleazar, just eat this meat in front of everybody so that we can convince them to sin against the Most High. Get them all to follow after you. They told him, man, it's even clean meat. He said, it's really turkey, man, but we're going to tell them that it's swine. Don't worry about it. Eleazar said, man, I'd rather die than to trick my people and kill herself. In Maccabees. I think that's in Maccabees, first Maccabees. I think the sixth. Hold on, let me make sure. I don't want to tell y'all wrong. But if y'all remember that history regarding Eleazar, first Maccabees 4. Yeah, I think it's 4. Let me make sure. No, Salaki. That's dedication. I'm tripping. Shalaki, I don't want to tell y'all wrong. I want to make sure I give y'all the right way. Where is Eleazar the priest? Let me see. Is it second? Maybe it's second Maccabees. Second Maccabees 6. Yeah. 6:18 down to 31. So, if y'all want the history on that one, second Maccabees 6:18 on down. You read about that. But how Eleazar, man, he said, I'd rather die than to sell out my people. All right. So it says also here, for behold, the burning wrath of the great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. So they're going to try to compromise one's faith and try to get everybody to go against the grain and be a part of this system. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. So anybody that goes along with the program, you're going to be held. The Most High said you're going to be in derision, reproach, meaning rejected of the Lord, and trodden underfoot. You're going to be trodden underfoot. You're going to be back in slavery captivity in the damn system that's going to have you destroyed. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities, a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. So if you fear the Lord, in these cities, there's going to be insurrections and uprisings. People are going to come up against us. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. They shall be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. That's how the Most High is going to be purging 2/3, 1/3. He's going to decide and see who's the elect, who's going to stand up for me against the evildoers, as it says in Psalms 94. Who's going to rise up for me against the evildoers? See, that's going to be the purging, man. So that's just how the Spirit took me on that one. But look, this is what it says. This is what they want. This is the new agenda. They want everybody in these compact cities where you can't, everything's fully monitored, fully controlled. It's much easier when everybody's in a small confinement to control everybody. You understand? That's how they want it. Medicaid to cut 14 million Americans from health coverages. Health coverage as states crack down on eligibility for the first time in 3 years. So who are at risk? So Medicaid is a government government assistance for medical assistance for low income. So this is why we've always been talking about, man, you got to be careful of how much dependency you have on the so-called white man, because he's going to take everything from the poor. Notice he's already said, I'm taking back the benefits that I gave, or the extra benefits that I gave for EBT and SNAP and all of that. So people is going to have less money coming in for food as the prices of food is going up higher. They're taking away more money, so that means people are going to have less food to buy, less that they can provide for their families. Now, even coming down to medical coverage, that's getting snatched up. See, everybody, Jake was so happy praising the so-called white man when the stimulus was coming. The extra unemployment benefits was there. The extra EBT benefits was there. Oh, the extra. He coming back for it all. He's coming back for it all, man. That's why we talked about him. Man, he's speaking fair. Don't believe him, because he's gonna come back and soon as he poses as the savior, he's gonna reveal himself to be the devil, man. That's why the scriptures say, man, that the man of perdition must be revealed. He's not gonna be able to hide all of the stuff no more. That's why you're seeing, the truth about where that thing came from, out of a lab. Oh, now that truth's coming up. Oh, all everything else about how the effectiveness of their treatments ain't working, how people are actually suffering more. That truth coming up, man. All of the gifts that he gave, look, um, the scriptures tell us about that in Ecclesiastes. He poses as he's giving gifts. He's trying to save everybody, right? I didn't spell it right. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. See, the heathen always, our people alone as well, mistake the passion that Israelites speak with because of their oppression, man. The most I say, you would go mad, insane, let alone infuriated once you realize the truth and see the oppressions that we're under. Said if you wise, you would be mad at the situation. If you're wise, you would be upset about what's going on. At the same time, oppression can make one wise go crazy too. The psychological warfare, the mental manipulation, the AI bots, the fact checkers constantly trying to destroy the truth. You can go crazy tripping off of this stuff. And a gift destroyeth the heart. As soon as you go trusting in him, here you go taking away. Medicaid rolls have not been checked since the onset of the pandemic. States will ask residents to re-enroll on the program to see if they still qualify. Medicaid currently covers 84 million Americans, 20 million more than 2020. So since then, 20 million more people have needed Medicaid. Now, this also goes along with people, quitting their jobs and still utilizing government subsidies to live off of PPP, EDD, all that stuff is out of here. Oh, but you still got your Medicaid, you still got your EBT. Now they taking that stuff away. It's only a matter of time, man, before he fully puts everybody in subjection and makes it to the point to where you cannot survive in this inflated economy. Food prices and gas and everything else going up, skyrocketing, where you can't survive off of what he gives you. Until he says, hey, well, I got this smart city idea that you might be interested in. And I got a universal basic income that will support you living over there. All you got to do is denounce your God, follow after our wickedness, roommate with a tranny, and everything's gonna be great. How about that? Millions of Americans will lose their Medicaid coverage in the coming months as the government begins checking the eligibility of those currently insured by the government-sponsored program. So again, Medicaid is government paid medical insurance. Bunch of people about to lose that. Just as Ohio's got this damn outbreak with toxins, bird flu is now transforming. All these damn STDs is out. Diabetes, heart conditions. As soon as all this stuff is happening, oh, we got to take away your benefits. Can you pay out of pocket? I work in medical insurance, so I know them bills is not cheap. About 84 million people are currently covered by the program, roughly 20 million more than in 2020. States will soon begin checking the eligibility of everyone on the Medicaid roster for the first time in several years. Well, don't worry about that because, you know, once uh you got this, hey, your health care is all going to be looked at. They've got all of that figured out already, thanks to the good old digital ID. You understand? So checking the eligibility, look, they'll be able to monitor your devices, your network, and everything else. This is all part of the plan. California gas prices drive restaurateurs to the brink of closing as needed relief may be on the way. See how they, tickle your butt with a feather? You may have some help coming. Putting people in optimistic. Oh, here come White Zaddy again. He gonna save us again. I'm still pissed off about my gas bill, and I know many of y'all are too. But can you imagine people that own restaurants? They talking about this little Vietnamese restaurant. It says that the restaurant signature soup. Well, let me read the headline. California gas prices drive restaurateurs to the brink of closing as needed relief may be on the way. Maybe on the way. Gas company announces $10 million to help with hardships as well as drop in gas price for February. All of a sudden now they can drop the gas prices. Maybe it's because we found out that they already have an overabundance, that they even had to cut off the supply. As they're telling everybody else, oh, prices is up because of usage, and we don't have control of what's going on. Energy costs is up. We got to charge you more. It's not our fault. What? I can't tell. So anyway, this little Vietnamese restaurant, they got their signature soup takes 16 to 20 hours of simmering on a gas stove, but between November and January, the bill jumped from $800 to $8,000. Some San Diego restaurant owners saw a 400% surge in January. For instance, Rutford's restaurant owners Jack and Nick Kotcher received an $8,200 gas bill and told Fox and Friends in early February that they felt betrayed by politicians that they don't represent the people in San Diego. You think so? The most I told you don't. Well, these are heathens, probably. But we've already been instructed not to trust in oppression. Isaiah 30. Let's look at this real quick. Isaiah 30, and we'll start at 9 and we'll read down. Isaiah 39, it says that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord. That's Israel for you. We're rebellious. We're always lying, talking about we're going to change. One day I'm going to get right. I'm going to do it, Lord. Don't worry. I pray that you. The Lord said you lying. You don't really feel like that. You need something, don't you? You know that scamming cat man that always walking around. Hey brother, how you doing, man? You like what you want, man? I know you want something. Oh no, it ain't like that, brother. I really like you. Like, come on, you lying, man. What do you want? That's how the Lord looks at Israel. Lord, I promise we're gonna get right. What do you want? Because you're not sincere about it. This people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. You know, rebellious, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord. That's why they flooding into these damn cathedrals and churches. They don't want to hear about the law. You want to hear about feel good. You want to hear about self-esteem pick me up. You want to hear some good music. You want to be filled with the Holy Spirit, man, and have a Holy Ghost party every Sunday. You don't want to hear about the law of the Lord, though. You don't want to hear about repenting and getting right. Our people don't want that. Would say to the seers, see not, into the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. So to the seers, the teachers, the leaders, you don't want to see them, the righteous ones. You don't want to hear what's right. Prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things. We hear it even from the Christians all the time. You'll get more bees with honey. You guys need to calm down with the message, man. I hear you, but you shouldn't be yelling and all that. No, what? The Lord said, cry loud and spare not. but you want to compromise the message, man. But you got no problem, man, with Pastor Porkchop up there, man, and Bishop Bucks and Pastor Plates shaking and jigging and yelling and screaming and taking out the handkerchief and wiping their sweat and the foam off their mouth. Oh, that's not too loud. That's not too boisterous. That's okay though, huh? Oh, you want to hear the smooth things? You want to be prophesied about lies? Oh, everything's gonna be fine. Don't worry. Hey, vote in 2024, man. Things are gonna change. Don't the next guy's gonna be the one that's gonna deliver you. Don't everything's gonna be fine, man. You're gonna get reparations in the whole nine, man. Just vote uh Governor Newsom back in California. Maybe he'll get the reparations cracking. A lot of people just want to hear lies. Go ahead and pop the pills, shoot up the heroin, fentanyl, and everything else, man. The Lord understands your pain. Come as you are. You can be a damn sodomite, cross dress. A man, you can wear a bra and high heels and booty shorts, and the Lord loves you. Don't worry about it. Oh yeah, go ahead and eat that catfish, man. It's good. God said that all things should be received with thanksgiving. Hey, Peter ate unclean food. No, he didn't. Where the heck are they reading that from? That dream was not about him eating food. Mr. Foolishness. But the Lord says, speak unto our people want to hear lies. Get you out of the way, turn aside out the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. You don't want to hear about Yahweh. You want to hear about Caesar Borgia. Our people want to hear about Buddha and Confucius, and you want to hear about, Allah. You don't want to hear about the Holy One of Israel. You want to hear about Ra and Isis and Seth and Horus, and you want to hear about Kansu. You don't want to hear about the Holy One of Israel. You want to hear about Ma'at. You don't want to hear about the Holy One of Israel, though. But what's going to happen? Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise the word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. Our people's going to be in for a rude awakening, man. A rude awakening because they trusted in oppression. And this is what happens. This is why this guy is talking about, I felt betrayed by politicians. They don't represent the people in San Diego. Well, for Israel, we're not supposed to be even thinking about that anyway. But the heathen, they can thinking they can go trust in their oppressive leaders. It ain't happening. Now they're saying, oh, we may give you a little relief. We got $10 million in, and we'll drop the gas prices for you in February. Maybe. More on the economy. Housing affordability hits an historic low. So, people talking about you looking to invest in a home. The Lord said, I mean, the economists are saying people can't afford these houses right now, let alone the interest rates are skyrocketing to purchase a home. All the prices of the homes are overpriced, while the housing market is devaluing many of the homes, right? So, right now, uh, where are we at? It says fewer than a quarter homes listed for sale nationwide qualified as affordable by the typical U.S. household, according to a new report shared exclusively with The Hill. The report released Friday by real estate brokerage Redfin found that the number of affordable listings in 2022 fell by more than half from the previous year, the largest annual drop in the company's record dating back to 2013. So people are not being able to can't afford these houses that's out there right now, man. Things are overpriced. This actual real estate brokerage firm Redfin, they've been laying off people because they can't maintain these real estate agents because they can't sell the houses. Nobody's buying them. The interest rates is crazy. So this is one of the main sources of income, land, that America has. That's why they went out to conquer lands, because that generates income. You're getting all the tax money from the lands. All these mortgage brokers, the banks are putting out these loans. That keeps the economy flourishing. But now when that becomes stifled and you got these new home developments all over the place, nobody's buying them. Now you're seeing where the housing market can go into another crash like in 2008. So people can't afford them. It said housing affordability is at its lowest level in history, which is widening the wealth gap, especially between generations. So, let's see where that goes. Oh, look at this. Jill Biden cares about the poor little Africans. People are starving. Yeah, really. People are starving, huh? Well, the Lord said that there was going to be famines, right? We've already known that for a while. But it takes Jill Biden to come out and pleads with nations of the world to help Africa after visiting a rural village desperate for water. And guess who she blames? And blames Russia's war in Ukraine with diverting needed resources. So you see the propaganda already? Everything is everything is Russia's fault. So you trying to tell me them Africans wasn't starving before the war a year ago? You've been the first lady since 2020. It took you to 2023 to acknowledge a hunger problem in Africa? 3 years? She finally goes over there and says, "Oh, they're starving over here. Africans are starving." What? You already knew that. But this is this propaganda to again try to fuel the minds of the people to say, "Well, it's Russia's fault that Africans are starving." No, it's the white man. It's just a joke sometimes that I got to bring this stuff up. That they even got the nerve to try to put this out there to make it seem like the people are just so dumbed down, we will believe anything. Jill Biden is out there pleading with the nations of the world to help Africa. Well, how about you take some of them billions of dollars that you've been giving Ukraine for war and go help the Africans? How about that? You got opportunity to help, but remember, he's only going to help the sword. He's not going to help the hungry man. He don't know charity. Jill Biden toured a rural Kenyan village on the final day of her visit to Africa. The final day, let me go see what's going on in this poor little country over here. You're going to wait till the last day. Beg the international community to help with starvation. We cannot be the only ones. We have other countries join us in the global effort to help these people of the region. Oh, there they go. White man want to say today again. If this ain't the most disingenuous words flapping out of the white woman's mouth, man, I don't know what is. Let's continue on. Oh, here they go. Trying to spoil and give gifts. New York City plans to dole out $21,500 each to 2020 Black Lives Matter protesters. Oh, they love giving you niggas hope. Love giving. If you was out there protesting with the sodomites and the dykes and with the LGBTQ plus community, that's what man. There was more Edomites out there protesting Black Lives Matter than was Jake. They had a demonstration out here in LA, man. The brothers that went there. And was shocked to see how many Edomites was all in the mix. So let's not make it look like all this is black folks finna get this money. Antifa and all them was in the mix, but they had a class action lawsuit. Then now they got a little money out the deal. New York City is planning to compensate protesters from a 2020 demonstration following George Floyd's death with a $21,500 each in a new settlement. In the proposed settlement, the city has agreed to pay $21,500 to each member of the class action suit, plus an additional $2,500 to those who were issued desk. I don't know what that was. I must have cut off the printout. But anyway, let me drop down here. So here they are proposing more money for Jake. If I'm sure it's a combination. But of course, it's going to take a Jake to push the issue for civil rights matters, and then the rest of the damn heathen and the sodomite join in and say, "Me too." If it is approved by a judge, the settlement could amount to an estimated $4 million to $6 million. There were reportedly around 300 people in attendance at the protest, and roughly 90 have already settled with the city regarding alternative complaints. So now they're rewarding protesters, that was out there talking about George Floyd with a class action lawsuit because the city of New York had violated their rights somehow. Now they have to wait for the approval of a judge before it goes on. They said this is the plan. They said, but the judge has to approve it. The judge could say, nope, I'm not with this. The judge could reduce the amount. The judge could say no at all in its entirety. But more than likely, they're gonna give a little money to these people. But it's all to give false hope into thinking that there's justice in the system. The people just gonna take the money, man, put it right back into the system anyway. So let's be clear, all right? Because they're still tickling everybody's asses with a feather with reparations, thinking that there's gonna get some money coming out the deal, man. Esau is just so crazy. Look at this. Dramatic moment. A huge tornado causes power lines to explode in Texas with more twisters and baseball-sized hail to batter the southeast on Friday. Tornadoes which tore through Texas, Louisiana, and other parts of the South Thursday left a trail of destruction behind them. So the tempests and the storms of the Most High is continually pounding America. Tornadoes, power outages. I know the fam up there in Detroit, man, they've been dealing with rolling blackouts. California's been dealing with blackouts up north in Big Bear, 8 and 10 feet of snow. People snowed in and trapped for days on end, starving. You understand? So America's still getting hit by the Most High, destruction with the tempest and the storms. Now we're getting tornadoes. Tornado season, isn't that usually in the summertime? Now all of a sudden we're getting them in the winter, at the end of the winter. Very interesting. Southern California, snow has trapped people for days. This is what we were just talking about. In the aftermath of a blizzard that left parts of Southern California buried under as much as 10 feet of snow. Emergency workers and volunteers were still scrambling on Friday to help scores of residents and tourists who were unaccustomed to the sheer amount of precipitation and all the problems that come with it. Yeah. Lake Arrowhead, Big Bear got hit with 10 feet of snow. People was trapped in their cabins, couldn't get out the door, can't drive, ran out of food. I seen one picture, man. Some people wrote in the snow, "Help us." People having to get airlifted up out of there. I done seen, brothers and sisters send pictures to me, and I seen brothers online in San Bernardino, Upland, snow. We ain't seen that in who knows how long. Santa Clarita, Lancaster, all that stuff was getting hit with snow. I seen a video of a RV home. It was like an RV park, and from the rains and all of that, man, the ground had got too moist, and the RV sunk and fell off a damn cliff because of the grounds that got jacked up. So we seeing the disasters are here and getting hit. So look at this. This is why we keep talking about prepping and at least having some things in order. These people wasn't expecting none of this when they went on little vacations to Lake Arrowhead and Big Bear. But as soon as they was hearing about storm is coming, snow is coming, they should have hustled their butts up out of there or went and got some supplies and got prepared. Instead of, oh, we're going to get snow. Oh, it's going to be great. Little did they know the Most High can turn it all upside down in a heartbeat. So look at it. Although the sun has been shining since the storm ended on Wednesday, imposing snow berms still trap people in cabins and cars and driveways, preventing them from leaving Lake Arrowhead and Big Bear Mountain, normally popular destinations for day tripping skiers and snowboarders from Southern California. Many have run low on food and prescription medicines. Keep those things in mind. Natural gas lines were fractured, sparking 5 fires in 2 days. Officials said when firefighters arrived to extinguish the flames, they found hydrants encased in ice and a feet of snow. On Thursday, Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency. Good old Gavin, huh? State of emergency in 13 counties affected by winter storms, including the ones that are home to Yosemite National Park, which has been closed indefinitely, in Lake Tahoe. But his declaration focused in particular on San Bernardino County, which has drawn greater attention because it's less accustomed to the volume of snow that fell there in recent days. So yeah, San Bernardino ain't but like an hour and some change up out of LA. They got hit heavy. But he says it's a state of emergency. Let's see how he handled it though. Oh, see, this is the white man again. Where is Gavin? California governor is slammed for leaving the state for, quote, personal travel after declaring an emergency amid severe snowstorm. Hasn't shared a schedule for weeks. This is the same guy, man, when the pandemic hit, told everybody mask up and everything else, and he was out with no mask on, drinking wine and hanging out with friends at a restaurant. A hypocrite. This is the same guy now who says, oh, it's an emergency. I'm out of here. I'll see y'all later. And does nothing for the this is this is the white man, his insincerity, man. He don't give a damn. He just declares a state of emergency and then goes off for personal travel, hanging out, vacationing somewhere, while his quote unquote state is collapsing. Amid a storm that has left residents in the mountains trapped for days after 17 feet of snow is dumped there, California Governor Gavin Newsom has left the state without explanation. Same with Slow Biden. And Pete Buttigieg or whatever his name, Booty, the damn sodomite that's supposed to be over the uh, environmental arm of the government. It took him like 10, 15 days or something like that to get over there to Ohio to make a statement and figure out what they was going to do. Slow Biden still ain't been there. He said, I'll get there when I get there. I'll double back. Let me know when it's safe. Let me make sure I get his quote. Look at it. Biden says he'll visit East Palestine, but won't say when. Biden says he will visit East Palestine at some point. Look, there she go. Look, there she go. Karine Jean-Pierre, your favorite coon and mines. White House, we don't have a plan for Biden to visit East Palestine, Ohio, despite his promise. That was 2 hours ago. These two were 2 days ago. Which one is it? Speaking with a double heart. So the latest update, he says 2 days ago, he says I'll be there. At some point, I'll be there. Don't worry. 2 hours ago, she says we don't have a plan for him to go there, despite his promise. Another lie coming from the mouth of the head serpent in charge. All right, let's continue on. This is where AI is taking us, man. It's getting more ridiculous and more crazy as we see. Let me see. I thought I had a. You know what? I wanted to play this too. I wanted to play this too. In regards to Isaiah 30.
Oh my God, 100.
Our people
What's
not
your bet
wanting
on
to hear the law of the Lord, so forth and so on, right? Many of y'all, if you don't know, this guy, Charlemagne the God, radio personality on the Breakfast Club, Power 105 out of New York. He's a little entertainment mogul. I guess, he funding podcasts and got a little show on Comedy Central and all this other stuff. Here he is sitting amongst the damn heathen, right? And it's been reported now that Kanye is getting back with Adidas after they dropped him over there. That whole spiel about anti-Semitism, so forth and so on, right? Just like they did with Kyrie. That's why I said, man, if you stand on the truth, they got no other choice but to bow down, man. Because if the Most High told us in Deuteronomy 7:6, we're a chosen special people, all nations being blessed through us, they recognize and see, oh, we can't do nothing unless we got these niggas under our wings, making us money, bringing in revenue, creating things for us to profiteer off of. So all of a sudden now it's all lost and forgotten. Everybody, love Kyrie again, even though they traded him. But he was still the leading vote getter for the All-Star game, man. Nobody talking about Kyrie anymore. It's all good. Adidas cut ties with Kanye, lost billions of dollars. They got billions of dollars of inventory sitting up. They can't do nothing with it. They can't move it. Nobody talking about Kanye no more. I mean, he done moved on, got him and married him another white woman. This is a whole nother damn thing. So I don't know what that had to do with anything, but all of a sudden now after he just married the damn white woman, people's all of a sudden loving, back leaving Kanye alone. And now Adidas comes back and says, hey, let's talk business again, buddy. No reason why both of us should be hurting. So this is a little roundtable on this podcast, and they ask Charlemagne what he let me just play this.
Kanye getting back with Adidas. You think that I'll suck some
whoa.
like that?
So funny. Let me double back. The question was, what would you do if Kanye got back with Adidas? Charlemagne's been a heavy hater on Kanye, man, was riding on him, talking crazy. Oh, you know how stupid Kanye is, blah, 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 right? Lost his business deal. Now they said, well, what would you do if Kanye got back with Adidas? Which is what's being reported now. Hold on. Let me just make sure I ain't off on this. So everything, are Kanye and Adidas getting back together? Now here they saying that he's not. This was 3 hours ago. Demand for Yeezy shoes is at an all-time high after Adidas dropped Kanye, but what? Adidas reportedly back with Kanye West after massive $18 billion loss. Ye and Adidas reportedly reach a new agreement. Now they saying no. USA Today saying no. Everybody else saying it's he's coming back. Okay. Adidas reportedly to reach an agreement. So it's on the table. They're losing massive revenue. And now they want to come back crawling to Kanye, right? So listen to this.
What's your bet on Kanye getting back with Adidas? You think that I'll suck some
This is where this Negro's mind goes to when asked, let's see, hold on.
What's your bet on Kanye getting back with Adidas? You think that I'll suck some
What's your bet on Kanye getting back with Adidas? And his mind goes to him performing fellatio on a man. Mind you, this is a married man, father of 3 daughters. And his mind on a bet says he would slob down a dude if this ever happened. Like, that's his ultimate fetish. And the dude's been caught doing some sodomite stuff on the show, all in the name of giggles and laughs, right? Now he comes up, popping up, and the first thing that comes to his mind is that if this deal was to happen, he'd be willing to service a man. This is where this nigga's mind goes to. And he is a nigga for saying that foolishness, man. He's an ignorant, dumbed down, knuckle dragging heathen for saying some foolishness like that, man. You talking about Gentiles? I mean, good Lord. All in the giggle. And look at this brother. The only other Negro on the panel with him got damn nail polish on. I mean, what is going on with these guys? Let's continue.
Again, son. Again.
All in the name of giggle so you can impress your little heathen buddies that you're sitting around with.
What's your bet on Kanye getting back with Adidas? You think that
I'll suck some
Hold on. And before they trip again, fair use. I've said it before. I'm saying it again. Fair use. This is for news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, research, protected by the copyrights under Section 107, man. Fair use.
Again, son. Again. If Kanye gets back with Adidas, you suck some.
Not happening, yo. Neither one of those things are happening. I'm confident with that bet.
Really?
You know what your problem is? You believe in Kanye West too.
Yeah, that's your problem.
I'm telling you, I can't wait when he's back and you're going to be wrong and you're going to have to suck some.
Why would a company that's making $20 billion in revenue risk bringing in one guy that's going to ostracize so many people away from your brand?
Maybe because that one guy got them billions of dollars. Maybe because that one guy had so much influence. Maybe because that one guy who finally learned and understood that he's an Israelite and recognizes his value and his worth as being a chosen son of the Most High. Maybe that's why you dumb. Okay. This guy's, he has no idea what's going on. Only thing that's on his mind is slobbing down another dude.
Why would you do that? What if
Why would you do that? Why would you even say that's what you would bet? Right, instead of saying, I would rather give, I'll donate $1 million to this particular charity, or I'll do this, that, I'll go feed these homeless. He would rather lose a bet to do, instead of doing something right or positive or charitable in the community to help serve his people, he would rather go and slob down another dude if he lost a bet.
Football, soccer, fight for them, say, you know what, y'all in business, we don't want nothing to do with y'all. Whatever the fuck.
Everything's funny, man. That's Isaiah 30 in a nutshell, man. Rebellious children, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord, man, will say to the seer, see not, to the prophets, prophesy not unto his right things, speak unto his smooth things, because they trust in oppression. You dig what I'm saying? Like, all of those things are going to come crashing down on this dude. And all those that follow and laugh along with him. See the one little Edomite heathen over here, another heathen, and a Negro over here with some damn nail polish on. It's a round table of confusion. And the head nigga in charge right there is up there giggling and laughing about if he loses his bet, he'll be prepared to, lick his lips and get busy. Unreal. Unreal. So let's get back over here. I just got thrown off of that, but I did want to play that for y'all. This is where we had on the AI front, man. You won't be able to tell what's real and what isn't no more. They're not TV anchors, they're avatars. How Venezuela is using AI generated propaganda. I always said, man, watch Venezuela. That's always the blueprint on how America is going to be functioning in the near future. They're using AI. These ain't even real. They look real as hell, but they are avatars reporting news and acting as if they're credible sources on giving out information. That's what's going to be generating in the near future. We've already read the article in the story that said 90% of online content is going to be AI generated by 2025. Ain't nothing going to be real no more. Fake news stories about economic improvement presented by computer-made reporters have begun circulating online, evidencing how the technology is being used to further pro-government narratives. So they're going to have fake news reporters talking about how everything is great, the economy is soaring and getting good in Venezuela. Trust us. And it's all AI lying. We don't know what can be trusted in the near future. Deep fakes, voiceovers, AI generated reporters. It's all here. I'm not even going to read the article, but this is just a heads up on what's going on. And these are the heads that's going to be talking to you in the smart cities on your TVs, communicating to you on your phones, giving you your updates and everything else. See, Ford applies to patent self-repossessing cars that can drive themselves away. So Even the guys that's out here towing away cars for repo companies, they're getting ready to make these electronic cars, man, with the computers, with the AI in there, that can self-drive away if you miss a payment. You miss a car payment, man, the car starts up, man, takes off while you sleep. You know, remember Knight Rider and the Kit Car and all that? For those that remember that show back in the day, car talking to you, driving. You know, that's what they're trying to do now. But Ford is applying for a patent for self-repossessing cars. Alternatively, the car could drive itself to a junkyard if it costs too much to repossess. Yes, really. Average car payments have been rising for a while, although auto loan delinquency rates have been down since the height of the pandemic. Ford applied for a patent to make the repossession process go smoother for the bank, that is. The patent document was submitted to the United States Patent Office in 2021 of August, but it was formally published February 23rd. It's titled Systems and Methods to Repossess a Vehicle. It describes several ways to make the life of somebody who has missed several car payments harder. It explicitly says the system, which could be installed on any future vehicle in the automaker's lineup with the data connection, could be capable of disabling a functionality of one or more components of the vehicle, everything from the engine to the air conditioning. For vehicles with autonomous or self-autonomous driving capability, the system could, quote, move the vehicle from a first spot to a second spot that is more convenient for a tow truck to tow the vehicle. Move the vehicle from the premises of the owner to a location such as, for example, the premises of the repossessing agency. So we see the economy crashing. We're hearing about people defaulting on their auto loans, repossessions are up. Now Esau's trying to create self-driving cars, man. If you miss a payment, we're taking the car from you. All in the name of taking AI. On the tech front again, look, Gmail's back up and running. There was an outage. As we keep talking about these cyber attacks, so forth and so on. I wasn't affected by it. I don't know if anybody experienced it a few days ago, but Gmail had an issue. Twitter's back up and running after 3 hours of outage, left thousands of users unable to see their tweets. Another outage. Oops. Oops. Uh-oh. Tech problems. We're constantly seeing all the backdoors being utilized. How they can take away your tweets. Oh, we'll be able to block it out and you can't see what you posted. They don't like what you're doing. Oh, yeah, it works. Put it back up. Gmail. Oh, shut down Gmail. Let's investigate everybody's emails. Okay, we scanned them, took the screenshots of what we needed, send it, put it back up. You know, that's the type of stuff they on here doing. Ohio mom murders a thrash metal singer husband, their son, 13, and her father, 74, before shooting herself dead as deputies arrived to evict the family from their home. Daughter, 20, was shot too, but survived. See where people's going? And this is Esau, man. The broad didn't kill the whole damn family because they about to get evicted. This is where you see the desperation of people going. That's one story. Here's another one.
An eviction fight ended with this massive and deadly fire in New Jersey. It started when a woman's landlord tried to evict her, and in response, police say the woman set the house on fire. News 4's Brian Thompson in Roosevelt with some new information this afternoon. Brian?
Yeah, David, we are told indeed it was an eviction attempt on a woman who had lived here for several years. Now, Chopper 4 was over the scene just not long after the fire broke out. The flames consistent with a natural gas fire, matching one report we had that, the woman had turned on the gas in the house and then lit a match rather than face an attempt from the landlord to evict her. Now,
I'm just going to stop it there just because the point is made. But you see the desperation that people are going through now? Rather than losing their home and being homeless, they rather kill themselves and kill everybody in the house. That's the level of danger. That's the level of heinous crime. That's the level of threat and the spirit of death and evil that's befalling the world right now. Just because they're being told they got to leave, you got to get out. You haven't been able to pay your rent or your mortgage, you got to go. And they say, to hell with that. Everybody that's living here dies. Oh, this was your house? I'm renting, burning it down, and I'm killing myself too. If I can't have it, nobody can. But this is the desperation people are falling to. Just wanted to share those with y'all. Let's continue. Cop gone wild. Megan Hall breaks her silence after being fired over sex scandal with 7 fellow officers. I said it. She said it. They said it. 7 fellow officers. I shared this story a few weeks back. Edomite chick, man, she was over there having her way with her fellow officers. 7 of them, laying with all of them. And her husband said, "Oh, I forgive her." So she wasn't in her right mind. And look what she says. "I did say no, but he wouldn't take it for an answer." So now she's claiming rape. Oh, with all 7? Really? That's how the women trying to take that power. Oh, I said no. Did you say no to all of them, honey? Or you was letting them, how they way with your little stanky. It's not Friday Night Lights. Let me calm down. Tennessee cop Megan Hall has broken her silence for the first time since being fired after a salacious sex scandal with 7 fellow officer service. Hall, 26, said that she felt terrorized by her superiors, and earlier this week revealed in a federal civil rights case filing that she felt, quote, sexually groomed. The lawsuit names 4 colleagues as defendants and was filed in the United States District Court in the Middle District of Tennessee. If y'all believe her story, man, this is the perfect example of victimized white woman, man. She's in there acting a damn fool, sexing down all of her fellow officers. Now when she gets busted, she gets fired. Oh, they groom me to be a hoe. Oh, and I told him no, but they wouldn't. He wouldn't take no for answer. That's singular. But you had sex with 6 other dudes. Oh, well, they groomed me. They made me the hoe that I am. What? That's it. That's no different than the Rosewood story. White woman says, "Oh, she was raped and it was a black man." They burned down the whole damn city or the whole town. Wasn't no black man. They blamed it and said, "Oh, it was a Negro escaped from the prison, man. Must have been him. We're just gonna blame him." No proof, no nothing. Oh, Emmett Till, he whistled at a white woman. Oh, destroy and kill him. Threaten the whole household if they don't give him over. We're gonna kill everybody in the house and burn up everything. Now here she is over here being a hoe and then says, It wasn't me. They groomed me and they raped me." But you still showed up to work every day. You still went in there having fun. Why didn't you go to internal affairs if it was really like that? Another damn reason that the damn white woman and her uh her people's all damn devils, man. That's just the bottom line. Look at this abomination, man. There they go again. I ain't talked about this dude on a number of occasions. Kayla Lemieux, Canadian teacher with size Z prosthetic breasts, is paid on paid leave. Oh, because they're going in there with he goes and this thing goes in there with all kind of attention. Everything's going on. They did everything from threatening to suspending kids if they took pictures or said anything about him. He's running around here looking like a damn abomination. Now, because of all this attention, he got a bodyguard and the whole 9. Now they finally just said, "Man, just take some time off, man. We'll pay you. Don't worry about it. We're gonna pay you." Now let me share something with you. We're going to extend it today, man. Hopefully everybody's still locked in. Anybody bored? Anybody logged out? Let me find out. Y'all still ride with me? All right, all praises. If anybody's tired, you need a nap, let me know. We got a little bit longer to go, a little bit while to go, man. Ride with me, we good. Everybody all right? Look like everybody's solid. All right. We're taking a little time today, but it's all good. Okay, so look at this guy. A complete abomination, man. The Canadian high school teacher who wears a massive Z-cup prosthetic breast with nipples and all. The guy works as a woodshop teacher, man. Supposedly a masculine job. He's in there with the damn fake balloon boobs all in the way. And then says, he doesn't want attention, people looking at him. threatening to get the school to suspend anybody that's focusing in on this foolishness that he's doing, looking like a complete clown with a dirty wig on, acting as if he's not, people aren't supposed to look at him and say, what the hell is going on? Now he's put on paid leave. Now he's rewarded for his folly. You ain't got to show up to work. You're going to get paid. It's all good. The Halton School District confirmed that Oakville Trafalgar High School shop teacher Kayla Lemieux was put on paid leave Tuesday. While not currently on an active assignment, the teacher remains employed with the Halton District School Board. Spokesperson Heather Francie told the Toronto Sun. Lemieux's suspension comes after Education Minister Stephen, whatever. I don't even feel like reading the rest of this. This dude really makes me sick. Let me play this for you real quick. This also shows you the grooming that goes on in the schools. Now, while they letting Kayla Lemieux run around here with the fake boobs and influencing everybody, listen to this Edomite kid talk about the books that he got from the library. He's going to read some of it. He's 11.
Let me explain the simplest business model in the world in less than 90 seconds.
Yes, before I finish my sentence. He's pulling off my t-shirt.
He's reading a book. This book right here in the corner. Oh, they had the post of it earlier. But anyway, he's reading a book he got from the library.
Yes, before I finish my sentence. He's pulling off my t-shirt, laughing when I can't undo his shirt buttons. He's undoing my belt. I'm reaching into his bedside drawer for a condom. We're kissing. Again, we're rolling over. Obviously, you can see where this is going. I don't know if it's because we're feeling especially emotional or just tired, or these past couple of weeks have been too much. But this reminds me so much of the first time we had sex. We were both terrified, and the whole thing was kind of terrible because we didn't know what we were doing. But it was good too, so good, because we were a mess of emotions, and we were scared and excited, and everything felt new. So this sort of feels like that. Nick touches me like he's scared that any minute. Now, this book was at my middle school, and it was on a stand. When I rented it out to show my dad it, the librarian asked if I wanted more and if I wanted a graphic novel version.
Wow. Did you hear that? He said, the librarian said, do you want more? And do you want a graphic novel version? That's not even supposed to be for teens. He said, if you really want to get real dirty with it, I can expose you to that too. And don't worry, we got Kayla Lemieux running around in schools, a big old trans queer queen, fake boobs and all, to teach and educate you on how to make wood shop items. Maybe some phallic symbols. Who knows? This is what's being taught in the schools. This is what Ron DeSantis down there in Florida is trying to get rid of, along with Black history books. Trying to lump it all together. All the Black history, that's included with the LGBTQ plus movements, man. We need to get rid of all of that stuff. See how the trans and the LGBTQ plus HIV community then infiltrated into ours, and now we get lumped in. Our histories and information is getting lumped into their little movements. And they're thinking, let's kill two birds with one stone. That's how they've infiltrated in, man. From Black Lives Matter to everything else. But this kid getting library books that's on full display on a shelf, talking about some damn sodomite encounter. And then they say, well, if that wasn't enough, man, we got plenty more books for you, and we can get you the graphic novel if you're interested in that. Let's look at this. This is drag time story readings at public events for children, mothers with baby. You see them all in here. All got their little toddlers in here, and letting the man come in there and give them a strip show, basically. Look at this.
Yeah!
This is modern Sodom, live and in the flesh, in real time. You want to know what spiritual Sodom is? Look no further. Look no further. Revelation 11:8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom in Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. This is modern day Sodom, Egypt, Babylon, all rolled into one, the most abominable country known to man that has taken on the attributes and the spirit of these particular cities and oppressive nations, embodied it all, and now is manifesting it for the world to see. And here they are allowing, and these goofy heathen women bringing their babies all up in here, man, exposing them to this. And what do they do? As soon as he goes over there and doing splits and wearing big ass heels on, they screaming and encouraging this foolishness. Big old party. Look at this. You know they gotta have a damn wicked Negro in there doing the same damn thing. Look at this foolishness. Negro ain't got no problem showing his damn abominable. So I'm running out of words to describe this foolishness, man. Tap dancing for the damn white woman as they holding up their phones and what? Good Lord, I can't even. Let me just let this go because I got to get it. Screaming as a. All right, I got to get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. I can't do it. The dudes in here twerking, doing all this other foolishness. I mean, essentially allowing these dudes to dress up as women so that they can put on erotic strip shows, pretending to be strippers in front of women and children. And these goofy ass damn heathen women is out there cheering it on as these niggas is out here shaking their butts, wearing spandex suits and big old heels and dressing like Egyptians. I mean, but you see what's going on, how they want to incorporate all of that into the children. They want to raise the kids up in this society, man. It's completely been overthrown by the spirit of Sodom, all manner of concupiscence and folly that's going on. It's all right here, man. America funnels all the stuff in, and then our people is out here complicit, listening to Charlemagne talking about he's prepared to perform fellatio on a dude, man. If Kanye gets his finances back in order with Adidas. I mean, how can you have so much damn vitriol and hate for this man that you say, man, I would rather slob on another man's ride than to see that dude get his money and to profiteer off an invention that he came with and a marketing a plan that he came with. I mean, if that ain't hate for your brother, I don't know what is, man. I don't get it. But let's continue on. We're almost done. A lesion was removed from Slow Biden's chest. It was cancerous. Oh shoot! They found it. Yeah, he almost had it. He almost had it. But they were able to remove a lesion, as a Uziel said, it was a legion. a bunch of spirits that was on it, man. They can't remove that. I agree with that one. But a lesion was removed from his chest. It was cancerous, man. They say the dude, man. So they claim he's healthy, vigorous, and fit. I can't tell. Y'all seen him fall up the stairs. You see him get lost all over the place. You see his memory failing him. He can barely put together coherent sentences sometimes. Trump said he's on performance enhancing drugs when he got to go, do speeches. I believe he got something going on, man. They shooting him up the butt with B12 shots and something to get his energy up when he got to go out and speak publicly. But other than that, man, the dude falling on bikes, everything. But he's healthy and vigorous and fit. Leave it to Dr. Kevin O'Connor lying for him. Believe it if you want to. But let's continue. Oh, that was it. That was it. That was it, man. So, hey, we had a full day today, man. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh. You see these damn heathen, man. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable the folly that they're up to. You already know, bro. Oh, my goodness. Sister Neva, you already know. It's wild out there. It is wild out there. And it's just getting worse and worse. Worse and worse, man. We got to pray for the deliverance of our people, man. Like our forefathers and foremothers did. We'll be keeping Purim this evening. So our closing Shabbat class will not be happening at 3 o'clock. It will be at 7:15, 7:30. Lord willing, we'll be closing. We'll be closing out the Shabbat, but we'll be opening Purim this evening. All right. Karatazah, shalom to you, my brother, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, man. Hopefully everybody enjoys the rest of your Shabbat. We'll be keeping Purim this evening, man. All praises. Hopefully you all have a blessed one. And, tune in with us if you want to get the lesson, get some understanding on it. But other than that, man, time of mirth and gladness, man. The destruction of our enemies, the deliverance of our people is at hand. We're in that position right now, man. We need to, really pray to the Lord, man. Continue on our spiritual path of repenting and staying in alignment with the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, man, so we can be delivered. Remember, like we read earlier, man, IQAhmath said, man, if there be no error in his people and they serving their God, man, it's over. We got no shot. But if they got any error, oh, we got they in for the taking. You understand? So we on that path right now, man. So other than that, man, I'm gonna go ahead and close out, man. All praises, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, man. Remember, fear the Most High, keep the commandments. Do not shoot your messenger. All right, man. If you ain't wipe your feet, man, on your way out, man, do so. Hit that like button, man. Hit that like button, man. Do your brother that solid. All right. The rest of y'all be well. Okay. Shalom. Oh, hold on, my sister. Okay. All praises. Rosemary, the way you can help the ministry is to donate via Cash App. Cash App. $ IQAhmath is the Cash App. You can help with your alms and your assistance that way. Okay. Cash App, $ IQAhmath. Appreciate your support, my sister Thawada. All right. Y'all be well. I'm outro. See y'all in the very near future. Lord willing, this evening we'll be closing out the Shabbat and opening up with Purim. All right. Shalom.